Let's get into this game
Meme.
and
Burgers.
quickly talk about not burgers. Let's quickly talk about the impact of this game because this is actually a
Mhm.
pretty important game.
Yep, especially
Um,
for VP.
you may not have expected this going into TI when you saw the schedule that this would become an important game because you would think, okay, Virtus.pro is one of the favorites to get at least win a bracket from this group, and Infamous were expected by many to bomb out in the group stage. But as a matter of fact, the tables have turned, and well, they were never the other way to begin with, actually. Infamous have 5 points to Virtus.pro's 3, and they've
Yep.
played the same amount of games. Virtus.pro are currently only second to last.
Yep.
They're second to NIP in that department.
Ninjas in Pajamas would have to have one hell of a run at the end to actually knock Virtus.pro down because NIP have to play EG, and they have to play Infamous as well.
Yeah, and Infamous took a draw against EG earlier today. They took a surprising 2-0, I think it was yesterday, and they also had a draw against Vici Gaming. They had a draw against Navi.
They 2-0'd Fnatic, 1-1 to
Yeah.
EG, 1-1 to Navi. They got 2-0'd by OG, and they won 1 VG.
Yeah.
So
So
they're
they've
sort of
only
a-
lost one series. That's worth thinking about too. This was a team that many people were expecting to just get 2-0'd out by all of the favorites, but no, they're
You know what?
putting up a really good fight.
I actually was one of the few that did not expect that, and I will stand up for that. Mainly because of the influence during the Starlighter Minor. You really realize that a lot of teams don't prepare for South American teams, and Infamous is one of these teams where they have a couple of great players that are just able to stand out. Like Whisper for me is always the player I watch when it comes to Infamous. Like he's just done such great work making space, making opportunities for this team, and then everyone just rolls with the momentum. And yeah, it's very, very scary. If I'm Virtus.pro, I would be very scared coming into this matchup, and yeah, go for something that's stable, easy to execute, gives you good team fight, because that's what you need against Infamous and SD. And Kunkka, tick those boxes.
Let's quickly finish off the score in the standings here. If Infamous were to win this game 2-0, they would currently be
They would be tied with Virtus.pro, with VG Gaming and Navi.
they would be tied for second, but they
Yes.
would have played one more series than Vici, but the same amount of games as Navi. So let's say tied for third. I think that's fair to say.
Yep.
And if they were to lose, VP would be in a much, much better position to stay alive and almost guarantee them at least to get to the main event.
Yeah, well,
And if VP lose, there's still the risk that they could end up getting absolute last if NIP pick up some steam and get a couple of wins. So
yep.
scary when you get toward the end of the group stage like this. It feels like the games matter more. Like in reality, they matter the same as always, right? Every game is worth 1 point, but the writing on the wall gets closer and closer. The pressure mounts, and you got to deliver when it matters the most. So Infamous probably feeling a bit more relaxed because they have some good points going in.
You know, the funny thing is, like, Infamous will probably decide the last position because they play Virtus.pro now, and NIP, like, they probably won't be able to beat out EG or VG. Like,
Unlikely.
it's a lot less likely.
Well, Peter's
And
good
then,
against Chinese teams generally. So-
that's sure. That's definitely possible. The results currently don't look that favorable for him, though. But they also play Infamous. NIP and Infamous play. So they could actually play for that last spot, and if NIP 2-0 Infamous or get denied by it, that's going to decide that last position. That's where NIP will be looking for those last points to get them out.
I think very few people going into this tournament were expecting an IP to be in this spot right now. They've had a rough time, and they've looked good in a lot of their games. They've built early leads. They've taken good control. They've actually crushed plenty of games. They just haven't won them.
Yep.
And in the end, they run into a wall or they get caught off guard by something, lose focus, whatever it is, and drop their leads. And it doesn't matter how big of an advantage you build in your games. If you don't turn into that W, then in the end it's like you got stomped. The end result is the same, -1 point, or well, +0. You don't lose points for not winning. Okay, we've got a little bit of drafting to catch up on here. So
Yeah, just a little
Shadow
bit.
Demon, Kunkka from VP, two very high-rated heroes right now. No big surprise. The AA first pick from Infamous has been their absolute go-to in this tournament. And they will respond with Lifestealer, one of the heroes that they like playing on Hector. They've played a good amount of Wraith King, which could have also been an option here. I'm not sure why they chose Lifestealer over it. Maybe they consider it better against Kunkka. But it is one of the better heroes against Lifestealer on the other side. In my opinion, Shadow Demon as one of the supports. Demonic Purge doesn't allow you to move around in the fight. Lifestealer is a very movement-based carry. And Disruption can save people when they get open wounds. So
That's why I'm wondering if they're looking to ban out something like the SK now. Just that grade 3 position that Infamous is then able to play.
Could be a good ban.
It's been the
Maybe.
most common, I think, combination with the Lifestealer.
Yeah, it's been one of them at least. They
Yeah.
banned the Storm, which is another obvious choice to run with Lifestealer. Whisper definitely plays a great Sand King, so could consider that. Infamous chose not to ban Morphling with the Lifestealer in their team, and I think it's because they have the AA, so they have Ice Blast to prevent the attribute shift from really coming into play, and they feel confident that they can deal with it. There's the tiny ban into Lina pick. So open-ended, Lina could be both a mid and a position 4 with a 5 Shadow Demon, and Kunkka can still be played in the offlane role. And as we've seen previously, it could be Ramses playing Kunkka as well in a very interesting side lane situation. Who was it they played against in that game that we cast, that they drew?
Who did VP play in that game? Was it Mineski?
I don't remember who they drew with. Man, there's so many games. They all blend together in the end. That's always how the group stage is. It's hard to remember everything.
I can't look it up right now, unfortunately.
NIP.
It was okay.
I was against NIP. That was NIP's 1 point of the group so far. Was a draw with VP, I think. Could it be? What, didn't NIP win one of those games?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, maybe that was the only one they won too. Yeah.
I think so.
Hey, they definitely have
On
1
day
point. We know they have 1 point.
Mhm.
So it makes sense. Tuskar pick up from Infamous. So different style of delivery, but delivery nonetheless. Or potential save from
Kunkka combo.
Kunkka combo, but your timing for it would be amazing. You got me saying Kunkka.
It's-
What the hell?
It's actually not that hard. When somebody gets X marked, you get into the proximity, but not on top of them, so you don't take the torrent with them. And then as soon as they get pulled back to the X, that's when you can choose to snowball at any time you want.
But does Lifestealer really care about that though? Like, he just rages, right?
Mm,
And that's what lets him walk off the Kunkka.
maybe he doesn't care that much, but there's other heroes in the game that would probably care a bit more than Lifestealer. So setting up for that, it also makes them a very dangerous tri-lane. AA Tusk is no joke to lane against. Tag team,
That's a lot of frost.
tag team, cold feet into the ice shards to get people frozen.
But it's
Can
always
be dangerous.
what was it always said? Like, never underestimate the vortex of Ancient Apparition. Everyone kind of overlooks that ability.
Yeah, it's just you generally don't skill it until at least level 3 in laning stage. So if you're tri-laning, that takes a while.
Looks
All
like
right.
we're gonna get the 3 position. Beastmaster is in.
Yeah. Looks like a relatively good Timber game. The downside is the Shadow Demon Soul Catcher. We've seen Liquid struggle with their Timber pick in another game. I don't know if Infamous are really fans of the hero either. If they don't want to go that route, I think totally fine Sand King game. Wouldn't have a problem with them going for that. It would allow them to aggro their Lifestealer. It would allow them to dual lane. He's actually decent with Tuscan lane. You have all this stun into the tag team. Don't have the best attack speed though to use the tag team, but once both heroes are level 2, Sandstorm, stun, shards, tag team, people can't really get out of the Sandstorm. It's pretty good, and he can also solo lane against Beastmaster if it comes to that with some sentries more than likely. So
And it'll give the elements of teamfight that Infamous is currently missing. Like,
Yes.
a lot of everything is very single targeted. Maybe you'd probably prefer like an AoE stun, but if you get your Burrow Strike right, it's gonna be like a multi-hero stun anyway.
exactly, I like the Sand King.
Yeah.
Whisper, one of his best heroes is Brewmaster. I don't think this is the game for that.
Yeah,
I think the hero's even unpicked at TI this year. It might be. Or, no, we had one game, didn't we?
Legion Commander
We may have had
instead.
one game with it. LC. So they get a hard dispel for the Roar that VP are probably planning to dump on the Lifestealer. And they get a strong laner, too.
Does
This
that
hero
does
can
that
lane
take
against
off the purge?
No.
No, that stays. I'm like, just because it's a strong dispel, I was like,
Demonic Purge is one of the few spells in the game that cannot be removed by literally anything. There is no way of dispelling the spell. You can get invulnerability to remove it, but the only types of invulnerability that work are either death or snowball. Snowball can, you're
yeah,
it's still on you, but
you're not affected.
you're not affected because you're hidden, right? Phase shift, things like this. But Yule Scepter doesn't work. You get immediately taken out of the Yules. It doesn't even Like, it's activated for 1 frame. I don't know how many ticks Dota uses. Like, how long is a frame in Dota? Is it... okay.
I cannot help
It's a
you
very
on this
short
front.
amount of time.
Okay.
Might be 32 ticks a second. Something tells me that.
Sure.
Because it's based on the infrastructure of Steam servers, right? And the thing that people always talk about in CS is that they want 64 tick servers or 128 or however much it is. So if it's factors of 2, then it would be 32 tick, right? I think so. Let's say it's 32.
It sounds like very smart logic.
That's great. Okay.
Beautiful.
Last
All right.
pick, Infamous.
A nice
mid-hero.
mid. A nice mid.
Yeah.
Someone with some good momentum. And Shadow Fiend will be the last one up from them.
Good hero against Kunkka in lane, at least somewhat. Should be fine. Could also lane against the Lina if that's what VP were planning. They obviously don't know the lane distribution of VP's heroes. That's part of the strength of the way VP have opened their draft. But I do reckon we will see this Kunkka go mid for no one and Lina position 4, and then they will last pick a Ramses hero that is good against these other heroes in the side lanes. Because the fact of the matter is, if they do put the Lina mid, neither of the side lanes looks good for Kunkka.
Yeah.
So he kind of wants to go there. And what's a good Ramses hero here? Terrorblade? It does not do too well against Legion in lane.
Yeah, when you get built up, TA, so that's definitely Solo's
It
hero.
is a side lane Kunkka. Yep, Ramses is on the Kunkka again. Well, the one game they won was with him on Kunkka. So, oh, what? Not the one game they won. They won a little bit more than that. One of the 3 games they won was with Ramses on Kunkka.
It's making him sound like everything's been a failure.
Yeah, no, it was, we were talking about NIP earlier. With their only 1 win, but VP have 3 to their name.
Okay. I actually finally got back on as well. So
Who was it you said they 2-0'd again?
So Virtus Pro 2-0'd NIP.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
So who did NIP win a game against? I thought that was a... Oh, right, it wasn't a draw. Right.
So
Yeah, no,
NIP 1-1 Fnatic.
okay.
That was the I think that was the really weird Pudge Arc Warden game that ended up happening.
No, that was...
NIP had to fight through because Fnatic were just sitting up in
No,
their
that was
base.
Fnatic versus Vici.
That was Fnatic VG?
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know this other game. We don't watch every single game, and we don't keep track of absolutely everything. It's too hard.
Yeah,
There's too much going on. There's
it's
so many
literally
games.
impossible. Like we finished casting last night, and then we had probably 30 minutes to eat. Then you basically just had to go to sleep, get your 7 hours, and then come back this morning for the call because we had to start today too. So yeah, there's literally no downtime to check things.
I didn't sleep right away.
No, well,
But I played some Underlords. So.
Well, I'm glad you made time.
Nah, there's a lot of games. Even if you try to keep track of everything, you're gonna forget things. That's why we need stats. We need people that have all the stats ready. But having that running on all 4 streams at once is also, quite the thing. So
Professor Tusk.
I just thought it was fitting to let that sound play out. Professor Tusk, and then the laugh comes in.
He looks really cool. I actually like that set.
Yeah. Is it called the Excavator or something? Expeditionary. Okay, yeah. Get it out, guys.
Yeah.
Let out your voice lines. Let out the steam so we can play Dota. Thank you. So. Maybe we don't even need to cast.
No, we really don't. Yeah, that's actually one of the greatest things. Like we've said this from the very beginning, early days of Dota 2. The voice work inside this game is so damn good.
Dude, I want to make a joke and then all the heroes in the game just laugh.
No, sorry, that was just me laughing.
Nobody laugh. Somebody laugh. Please clap.
Well, they said make a joke, Sin. You said I'd make a joke and then heroes would laugh.
Yeah.
But there was.
There you go.
See, you missed your timing.
Yeah,
All right,
see?
Infamous are going to smoke up. They want to get aggressive. You have an Ancient Apparition ready to go. Schofield going to wrap around the back. Solo.
He could skill Ice Shards. That would probably be first blood.
What's he going to do? Yeah, and it is. Ice Shards.
Oh, those were
Solo
not too good, though.
No, Solo will just walk himself away from that one. Open wounds. All right, well, we'll just go for this one, too.
Oh, they need to not give this kill to SF.
Raise number 1, and boom! Raise number 2.
Oh, disaster. Solo was like... I think Solo could have got away, but he didn't expect the lifestealer to actually go and skill open wounds here, because every lifestealer wants to start with Feast to help CS. But the benefit here, SF just... Oh, well, SF didn't have souls, at least.
No,
he didn't have Necromastery.
He had to go races to get the kill,
but
his
it's still
bottle...
super important for this lane.
His bottle timing is just going to be rapidly increased. But he definitely needs to get up in the face of no one. No one actually went Sideblade's level 1, so there's no refraction to protect him. So if Chris wants to get aggressive, which you normally do when you get like Razor's level 1, right? It's like, okay, never mind, no one's level 2. So, happy Tree Munch. My god, that hits so hard from no one. And no one has not had, obviously, the greatest time in mids. Actually, just consuming. Man, I feel like Chris Luck's playing like OpenAI. Like, I'm just going to burn everything I've got as an SF to try and nail this one. Problem is I'm getting hit by every single side blade, taking so much damage. But okay, the bottle has arrived.
He's only got 1 CS, though, in these first 2 waves. So that's a good job from no one on that. He's 4-2 against the... Wait, 2-1?
2-1, but 1
Oh, he
soul.
got them before Necromastery. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That took some time. So Whisper gets to play as off lane with the Legion Commander. Make life a little bit more difficult for Ramses. His harassment doesn't do anywhere near as much.
But yeah, you're right. Chris Luck is playing really aggressively. He's non-stop raising when he can. This could hurt him, though.
Yep. No one's just looking for the great side blade lineups. Got to burn through those refraction charges, though. Then Chris can start attacking. He just put another mango on him, and no one's still finding the perfect lines. Chris, be careful! He's even like... Oh.
This is the lane to watch right now. There
Yeah.
is so much micro-exchanging going on here.
It's like I don't want to take my eyes off it, but at the same time, Schofield. Solo's playing around with him, and no one's got the Invis rune. Chris needs some regen. The courier's all... He's actually walking back to base. Keep in mind, he's only managed to get 5 souls.
This is a lane lost. Right there.
Yeah.
Well, at least Tusk will go and grab some experience meanwhile.
Yeah, but this is not the way he wanted to come in towards mid. He wanted to come in with Snowball, getting aggressive, battling it out. Roger, maybe this time you can put those open wounds to work. But Ancient Apparition's the one taking the damage. In fact, a lot of damage. Roger, that's a kill. Like Elskofield's actually waiting around for Chris to give him bottle charges. Oops. Like,
Good start for VP overall in the lanes.
Sound strategy. Sound
And imagine this
strategy.
mid lane if he didn't have the first blood on SF. He did use some mana to get that first blood, but the gold he got in return was clearly outweighing the mana cost.
This is a really nice Observer Ward. They don't look to block up the camps. Instead, they understand that Infamous do play that rotating, aggressive kind of style, so just watch the rune area. Watch that rotation in. Means Tuskar can't gank the lane. Meanwhile, back at Chris, hitting razors into refractions. Not always what he's looking for. Like, even with the raise stacks. He's got a mango he can consume again if he wants to go for the max raise. And, oh, no one's got his refraction up. I feel like no one's baiting him, just playing him around, and no one should know. He plays at, like, he is an SF expert.
Yep. Chris used his last raise mana there. He has a Fairy Fire to try to bait with.
You have to bring no one underneath the tower to make that work, but no one's already got refraction charges available.
The bottom rune. Oh, that's such a big rune.
That's a regen.
That's huge.
If Chris can take this, and there's the Fairy Fire, Mango consumption #1, he needs the distance, and then the raise, he got the kill! He actually claimed no one! Let the tips rain from above! But he doesn't get the regeneration rune. Solo moved up to take that.
Dude, that was sexy, man. That was such a big outplay.
Oh, yeah, this actually just feels like the 1v1 competition. Just the way you want it to be. Stinger's in trouble up on the top lane. Roger's done in damage, able to really help out. K1 can't do enough to return into Roger, however, and Schofield really a non-influence.
Sound strategy.
Whisper,
Try harder.
or sorry, not Whisper. Chris Luck really wanted to double raise the mid wave and then suicide to tower, but no one glyphed the wave. So the second raise got blocked, and therefore SF didn't want to suicide, and now they instead TP in the AA to refill the bottle. Surprised he isn't salving him, actually.
And that would have been a lot nicer.
But maybe they're going to send SF up for a bounty rune. Don't think he's going to... No, he can't get a bounty rune. All of them are gone. 4 runes for VP.
Yeah.
Okay.
They do not control this map at all, Infamous. That's the movement times from Infamous. It's too much trying to support the lanes directly. They can't move out from the side. Still really worried about K1. These balls are making it so difficult for him to move. And he just rages TPs back to the tier 1 tower. Like that's not a good scenario for your lifestealer.
No, and this is one way you take advantage of AA. Oh, hang on.
Chilling touch going in towards Ramses. As much damage as you possibly can, but Solo's here too.
And Roger escaped top as well. He TP'd out. He was getting gone on by Lifestealer Tusk. Just TP's back to base, refills, and starts walking back to that top lane.
And the rune's going to be on bottom. No one with the TA trap. Looking to go after Chris. Hits with a Meld Strike, but no follow-up. This is a couple of charges of refraction, and Chris knows he needs the bottle charges.
Oh, we might see an AA kill here.
Yeah, there's 5. Oh, the pro! Press the attack! Save his life! He got enough of the South charges off that maybe Ramsey's torrent won't be enough. Stinger's on the other side of the tree lines, but they're in pretty deep, and here comes your hater and Chris Luck looking for the kill over on Solo. Bring him up to max souls. It only brings him up another 3, but Kunkka trapped inside the shards. Do you just want to hold him here? Let Chris finish the job? Nah, Whisper wants it.
Those shards were really good.
And then they get efficiency shrines.
2 for
4
1,
heroes together
smoke.
into a 4 smoke.
And a bottle refill.
Can they just, like, just everyone snowball to no one? As one!
Yeah.
As one! Shards? Something?
Just waiting.
Yep, here it comes. Flies up. Now the snowball brings the SF in. They have to burn through the refraction charges. Meanwhile, Lifestealer does die up on top lane. Guys, there we go. Chris got him. And looks like it will be Whisper who has to rotate up towards the top lane. Probably the only hero strong enough to battle against this ult. Tries to dodge, in fact, beautifully. Runs over the top of the LSA. There's more support running up the river. Schofield coming in with the help of Stinger. The duel is out. Need a little bit more damage to snowball forward. They might be RG just enough. No, they can't get the duel victory. Roger into the trees. He's got TP available. You have to hit a secondary stun to be able to get this off, but Whisper's got the reach with the blades. Doesn't stop the rest of Virtus Pro moving forward. Pasha and Solo looking to work together once more. And Chris, raise number 1, raise number 2. Have they got a follow through? Yes, they do. Overwhelming odds
again.
doing the work, but the shards can't lock in Pasha.
Sound strategy. Try hard.
Like how Roger waited this out. Didn't want to reveal himself instantly, so now they can battle against, well, the Lifestealer. He's used both his defensive abilities, Rage and Infest.
Now Hector's level 6, so he'll be able to sustain himself much better every 100 seconds with that Infest.
That's a nice triple stack.
Yep. Yeah, they're really setting up Chris for success here. Going to be shrining up with Tusk. Imagine SF will kind of stick around this half jungle, half mid lane, but they should also try to get some experience over on the AA. So maybe put AA mid a little bit, play safe, don't get killed by the TA, and just get whatever experience you can. A nice little bonus 25.
That's gonna keep those sentries down to get rid of the side traps. Make sure Virtus Pro can't easily fight around mid. That dewarding has begun. Solo with, I'll say an efficiency tango, but he's already 100%. There's another group up for a smoke. They actually don't have one at the moment, not on the supports. What do you do when you have yourself a pause? Sorry, we just needed to stop to spam some lines and then we get back into the game.
Pretty much.
Whisper's still getting a lot of space up here on the top lane as the Legion. Obviously no duel victory, but definitely spells good news for Infamous if he can get both the Blink and the Blade Mail up and running. Great way just to get most of the VP heroes to kill themselves. Chris is going for a Yule Scepter style build. Kind of wondering like if that's what he wanted to try and get, like just if it's meant to be for a defensive kind of nature, if he's meant to be aggressive with it. It's problematic against a Templar Assassin with refraction charges to try and go for that wind-up combo.
Well, each line is an instance of damage, right?
True. Skullfeld tried to be sneaky, getting it around. Creepy. Could have been that too. Around the back of the tower.
I mean, imagine you walk into a dark alley and the first thing you see is a Tusk with these goggles. The monocle. That's pretty creepy. Walking around the forest, chilling.
Let me educate you.
Yeah, I guess.
Roger, TP out. Chris, the damage output. By getting that last raise in and then K1's poor swipe.
But, okay, so to follow up on the Requiem thing, I believe, is it, okay, SF makes 1 line per 2 souls he has. So currently he makes 18 lines, and that means the TA can block 6 out of 18. So it can block 1/3 of the damage of Requiem, unless I'm missing something here. Because I think every line is 1 instance of damage, and they don't all get dealt in the same server tick. But maybe, I don't know. I'm actually not 100% on this.
Oh,
If they do get dealt in the same tick, then Refraction kind of owns it.
I'm 0% on this, but I guess we may get an example in just a bit. Everyone's grouping up. It's currently 5v4 in mid. The only one who's not there is the Live Stealer. He's still just getting the last bit of gold to finish up the hand of Midas. But just with a little bit of show of power from Infamous, Virtus Pro will back off.
Yep, I hold their tower, half HP.
Alright, Midas on the way. So just over 11 minutes for K1 to get him. Top 3 net worth currently belonging to Infamous. Chris Luck. Like, he's already got his Yule Scepter up and running. Legion Commander. Said working towards the Blink Dagger. Went for just a couple of extra utility items early on. And they instantly bring K1 to the top lane now. Mainly because Whisper's already gone jungle. Does feel like there's too much of the jungle to farm up. Nice loser tag. I still can't believe this is actually in the game of Dota.
Yeah.
Like, what exactly is the thing?
It's a Legion commander that lost a duel.
Ah. With the patch on the eye and the broken tooth. Okay.
And they even have LC in the game. Excellent.
All memes are
Is
really
this,
alive.
Are they making a play here? No, they were kind of grouping up bottom with multiple heroes, but they're not going to do anything with it.
You know, Infamous are one of these teams where you watch them play, like, time and time again. It's like, oh, I think I know what they're going to do, and then they do the complete opposite. Everything makes it look like it should run this way, and then it doesn't. Torrent's going to miss on K1. Ramsey just tried to go for the blind one from the other side of the tree line. It does bring the TP of Whisper.
Oh, they're baiting. They want them to roar him.
Yeah. Wait for the press the attack. Is there something? No, not going to happen. Just raging up. Turns to take out the creep wave. That's 4 heroes up on top. The Ice Blast should be able to connect onto Ramses as well as Pasha. Even with the Torrent and the Tidebringer connecting, Rogers wants to get the Laguna Blade hit into Lifestealer, but it won't happen. Press the attack's giving him more than enough life. But the dive will continue. Beastmaster Hawk gives them fantastic vision. Kunkka going for the bow combination. They go on the right target, the Legion Commander. The Roar, it does come out now. Now the Legion is gone. K1 will infest as the creep very quickly killed off. Wants to try and outrun them with the phase boost. Cannot do so. Disruption from Solo. He actually dies instantly upon reveal. Maybe this Ice Blast is able to do so. Ooh, wow, that's actually still going to hit hard, but there's nowhere near enough damage. It's a level 1 Ice Blast.
They might still defend the tower. I think if Shadow Fiend just comes in here and raises once, that's it. They're too low to stick around. But yeah, good kills. 2 core kills for VP in that instance. And that's all the Hawk. Honestly, that's all the Hawk.
Yeah.
The vision gives them the confidence that they can go for it, and then they also get the roar out toward the end on the life steal as he's tipping out. So very nicely done by Pasha, making that possible.
Man, they're moving so fast between the lanes, Infamous. Like, they're always burning TPs when they're off cooldown. Chris will get himself an Illusion Rune. The Blink Dagger is going to come out too. So Blink, Yule's Requiem. Like, who becomes your primary target? Like, actually, is it just no one? Is that the one he goes on? We actually put this to the test?
We'll see. I have this feeling that theoretically, if you place yourself perfectly under the Yules and your Requiem, they might all deal damage so close to each other in time that Refraction works. But if you're a little bit off to the side, they're slightly delayed from each other, but then they don't all hit. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. It might happen in the game, it might not. If he doesn't ever try for it when Refraction is up, I think
they're-
that answers our question.
They're
but we'll
trying
see.
it right now. Refraction is up. Blink, Yules. Yep. And wind up, wind up, wind up. And boom, 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 boom. It's, okay, I'm actually uncertain really what happened there. We'll have to do slow motion, but SF will lose his life for this. It's a 1-for-1 trade-off. They're worth so much. It may actually be a second as well, as Tusker kind of trapped. The snowball will delay this. And they will continue the fight down after, so, Schofield, man, he's really making the work for this. He's got shards available too. He can actually block him out. The axes fly forward. Solo's already found that kill. And meanwhile,
Roger.
Ancient Apparition was going up for the bounty rune, and Roger will get the kill on him.
I think TA blocked a bit of them.
We'll have it in slow motion after this push over on mid. Whisper, blink in, duel the overwhelming odds. That was so joined up. X marks spot will bring it back in again. Still got 8 stick charges, make it 9 now for Whisper. He can tank through it all. So everything should settle down for the moments here. Let's have a quick look at this again in very slow motion. As slow as we can make it.
So he currently has, I think he has 5 Refraction right now. And that Requiem would, for other heroes with that health, would pretty much one-shot. So I think he just blocked the number of instances, so the number of lines. And in the meantime, back in live, AA has killed off the Kunkka. They got the kill in mid.
Yeah.
Combining with Yule's triple raise and Ice Blast.
No one. Stinger cannot do that. At least Chris is able to find himself a regeneration rune, but Ancient Apparition, the heavy sacrifice to no one. Oh, this game has been, well, this game's a lot closer than our previous series we've had today.
Yep.
12 kills to 11 in 16 minutes. Everyone wants to just keep being aggressive. And Legion Commander, there we go. Blink, duel, snowball, a lot of punch damage. They've already got the kill onto the SD. Dual victory wins. Raw trying to actually now free up the life stealer. Perfect shards. Roger's trapped in. He'll get 1 Laguna Blade off, but minimal damage. No one. Great Yule Scepter. Here we go again from Chris. Wind it up. Try and hit into no one. 4 heroes surround him. And Chris turns around for the one last raise to get the kill on no one. Regenning up to get back into this fight once again. The snowball forward. Hector, Schofield, Whisper. Everyone wants to just keep running after kills. Now the Tier 1 tower, they can turn around for this. Objective-based gaming after taking the lives of Virtus Pro.
Really nice initiation. Killing off the Shadow Demon first like that with the duel makes the fight so much easier. That key save being gone just allows them to snowball down. They find the Lina off to the side as well. And you gotta say, VP, their positioning in this situation just not really up to par. Like having Shadow Demon exposed like this and then Lina also being able to be a collateral just shouldn't happen. And Infamous punished them in a big way. That was a 4K gold swing, I think. And now, wow, would you believe it? Okay, don't look at the win percentage. Tell me your guess. What do you think it is?
I'm gonna go at 90.
90. Okay, that's a bit ambitious, but it's high.
84. It's 84.
84% with a 5K lead with
Schofield.
SF in the team.
Nice little dodge with the snowball. He still has to go over towards Roger. He doesn't survive this. In fact, he's just going to go underneath the Tier 2 tower, into the trees. It was the only potential place he could TP away to safety. But hey, this is the way Infamous play. Supports just force the issue. I like how Stinger's also been on the opposite side of the map every single time. He just knows he needs the experience, needs the gold.
And it makes Ice Blast better too.
Yep.
So
Increase that radius.
now 86. Okay, so the reason I'm surprised by this is that usually Shadow Fiends being ahead by some is not really necessarily that big of a deal because Shadow Fiends dying in the mid and late game often swings games a lot. So I was not expecting it to be this high. It's a 5K lead, which is definitely something, but it has to have something to do with the rest of the combination of the heroes with the Lifestealer as well as the Legion Commander and their scaling. And AA as a support has been looking really promising this tournament too. It's winning a lot.
Yeah. And I'm really loving these observer wards we're getting. So creative throughout the group stage. This little one seeing perfectly out the side. Watching the farm areas as well as watching the river rotations.
No, that's a good one.
Just anything which you can get a full duration. Like they dropped the sentry feeling like they're being watched anyway, and they're right.
It only works because this tree is cut, right? The one.
Yeah, that little. Yeah, that one there.
If that tree isn't gone, I think this ward. And maybe
The
I mean it seems like
was,
this.
yeah, that. Hey, look at that teamwork.
Hey.
I can't trigger my high five thing. Dire is scanning. They're thinking that Virtus Pro are thinking about Roshan, and rightly so. There's a Desolator over on the Templar Assassin. She does a hell of a lot of damage, and they can burn through Roshan quickly. I don't know if they can tank through Roshan as well. And Ramsey doesn't want to fight just yet. He's so close to finishing up the Radiance. He's TPing up to grab the Relic now. Then just another 900-ish gold. If they can get a lot of these bounty runes, they'll be happy with that. Shards being planted. Skullfeld, he's coming down. He snowballs. Comes straight back out of it. Does manage to grab the bounty rune. I'll be laughing if he could survive this as well. Turns around for a quick punch.
Oh, no.
Triggered the one charge. He's actually going to walk away with this.
He's so tanky. 1600 health, 2 bracers for the magic resistance. And yeah, he's fine.
Yep. And they got 2 of the bounty runes. I don't think K1 realized that that everyone was up on top. Now the duel, we're going to work. Ice Blast is coming in. The Roar's going to work too, but SD as well as Beastmaster hit by that Ice Blast. Skullfeld again, trying to walk this off. He won't be able to survive this time around. The Ship Torrent combination not going to work. Chris, is it time for a wind-up into the trees? BKB wind-up. Roger's right in front of him, trying to get the Templar Assassin to point-blank range, but he can't get it. He's just a little short. Now he's got some more. Runs up the hill and away. He's still double buybacks, one from either side. Pasha slowed up. The Torrent not going to connect on anything for the defensive destruction from Solo. Saving Pasha, but the shards will still block him in. Whisper trying to move on to the next target and let Skullfeld as well as K1 finish the job. Roger hiding inside the Roche pit. Chris knows it too. Hits him with the raise. Roger wants to deny to Roshan, but not possible. Whisper just jumps in. And they want to keep this fight going. 4 seconds until duel is up. 6 seconds for the Blink Dagger as no one hides behind. The disruption to begin with. Good observer and sentry gives all the information the VP need. And they're just going to back out.
Honestly, it's a treat watching how Chris Luck is playing these fights on the edge with the SF. The thing he was going for there, really, it was a very cool idea. He had a regen rune in his bottle, so he had this feeling that he could just get enough mana while yuling up the TA to get the Requiem off fast, but he got cancelled multiple times by attacks as he was trying to bottle up. And then afterwards, he's playing on the edge where he's trying to raise this Lina in the pit and blink away from one single TA attack that's going to fly at him at the same time. Misses the raise, gets out, and then eventually they get back in and get that kill. But a lot of like really small, high mechanical skill plays coming out from him in this game, including the solo kill he found on mid to begin with. Let's not forget that one.
Yeah.
Against the TA. This is
yeah,
some good shit.
Okay. I kind of want to watch the highlight reel of it later. Nice double damage rune. This is always the Roshan enabler. You actually kind of wish someone from Infamous will poke their head into Roshan and kill off that TA trap. Because they put the sentry ward around the trap, they actually got the observer ward on the hill. It was not intentional. They just saw it as they were walking past it. But good vision game from Infamous. Always finding the D wards. They saw Templar Assassin farming for a little bit too. As TA goes down the hill. Walk around the TA trap. Chris jumps in. Here's your Yule Scepter with a double damage. Requiem of Souls. The timing is perfect.
Oh,
and then they jump forward. The duel snowballs onto Lina. My God, they do so much damage. And then they go into the trees. Solo thought he was going to be safe. He thought wrong. With three heroes down and the end of the double damage rune, they now go in for Roshan. Half of the duration of the double damage rune is still left.
They're going to press the attack Shadow Fiend for that attack speed. Makes it that little bit faster.
And can't do anything about this.
He's
just pushing the wave. I think he's trying to go for the mid tower too. But he can't get both.
There it goes. Aegis for Lifestealer.
Terrific.
Shadow Fiend. Okay.
Terrific game for Infamous.
They're playing really good aggressive Dota. They're super fast at playing around each other, taking initiative, using smokes, making moves.
Hey Sin, what do you think the percentage is now? Without looking, obviously.
92?
Pretty close. It is 94%.
94, okay. I mean, to be fair, I did check it like 2 minutes ago and it was 90, so, you know. It's never the same the second time you ask. It's fun the first time because you sometimes have no idea, but like you can, at this point, you can kind of, you know.
Now you're actually keeping tabs on it, so it's a progression.
Not necessarily keeping tabs, but you can kind of guess at this point, like based on the previous marker. But when it's out of nowhere, sometimes it can catch you completely off guard what the actual win chance is in the game.
So, okay, we've been talking a lot about Infamous and how fantastic all these executions have been. How does VP play around this? How does VP, like, get control of at least what they want to do? I'm not going to say they get control of this game because it feels like Infamous just have every initiation ready.
I think the TA BKB was the first big step that they have now. Maybe you try to delay for her dagger too and then go with Beastmaster getting dagger as well. And you try to take the initiative with some big quick bursts, but you have to be wary of the 2 saves. You're playing against Snowball and the Legion Commander Press, and you have to roar around that. So it makes the job of Pasha pretty difficult to execute in the game. And it's not easy, but I don't see a better play than that. Like that's the best timing you're gonna hit in the next 10 minutes is these 2 daggers. The Radiance, maybe Kunkka can get a BKB around the same time as well, and that's the timing.
Guess we'll find out. For the moment, the tier 2 towers trading out. Top lane for bottom lane. And SF's already moving over towards the mid. They're just fortifying to slow down Infamous. Still feels like Chris is just absolutely unstoppable at the moment. 717 on his SF. 918 for the Legion Commander with plus 54 damage thanks to the duel.
Tusk playing aggressive. Didn't find anyone though.
They'll find him in mid. Stinger wraps around the back. Here goes Chris once again. They looked like they actually wanted and they didn't. But here comes your ship. Current combination. A punch back out. Tusk's caught him way too deep. And now Chris Luck into the BKB. He's kind of got a Requiem from inside the trees. VP all still a little too close, but they break the Aegis of the Immortal. What do you want to do, Whisper? You can press the attack, potentially break him free of the initial stun. He sends up in the air, now back down again, but the Light Striker Ray able to connect, while K1 into the back lines takes care of the SD. Up he goes again. Chris Luck needs a little bit more distance. Can't get the bottle charges off because VP are right on top of him. One after the other now is Infamous, who are feeding over to Virtus Pro. Whisper wants to help out. He's starting the duel against that many players. That's not a victory for him. That's a victory for no one. Plus 26.
What the hell?
I don't know.
No, I'm wondering why they backed. Okay, so I think SF jumped in on this Kunkka. He BKB'd, dueled him, and wanted to wreck him, and he was like, he's gonna get disrupted. But if you trust in yourself and you time this perfectly, look at this. That Kunkka is dead. Maybe he was gonna get roared. He actually backs off away from the roar. That's why. He's scared of getting roared, so he backs off. He saves his BKB for now, actually. He didn't use it on the initial jump. Now he has to use it defensively, walks back. Whisper has duel the whole fight, doesn't use it. They're waiting, and then they're waiting a little more. And, well, if you don't use your spells like this, eventually VP are going to overpower you. And that was a huge win for VP, and now they're going to keep snowballing off it. They might find another AA kill here. Yep.
Perfectly read by Roger. Skullfeld, however, looking for a bit of a rebuttal. And he'll be able to claim it. Nice solo kill. Everyone's worth so much money.
Yeah. I'm just a bit shocked, actually, because this is kind of the Infamous that in the past that we've kind of been used to seeing with like crazy overextension, sometimes making very bad decisions. And then in this event, they've just been playing really good Dota. And that was kind of a little bit of a remnant of the past that just snuck in. And that almost swung the goal by 10K.
Reminds me of like the way Na'Vi used to play. It's like, hey guys, like we're just so great, like we're just winning this game so much. Let's just keep going. Oh wait, no. But then again, Na'Vi would have committed to the initial jump. Like, you blink in your BKB, you Requiem on the SF, and you actually take that fight underneath the tier 2 tower.
Yeah, and even if you get roared, then
yeah, you still go for it.
Yeah, you probably still try and fight after. But yeah, that was a bit crazy. And VP are back in the game because of this. The game was almost closing in on the end, but
81%
mistakes can always happen. Mid lane again, forced to BKB. So he's down to 7 seconds now on the Shadow Fiend of Chris Luck. It still looks good for Infamous. It's not like they threw their entire lead away and now we're back to square one, but a big part of the advantage that they had has dwindled. Gotta be careful not to make too many of these mistakes.
It's the enabling of no one, in my mind. Like, no one's able to jump in there and get a quick kill. His item progression's looking a lot better now.
MKB.
Like, not just the BKB and Dessa. The MKB is totally done 29 minutes in. And Pasha has blink, so he can just potentially blink away. Because he doesn't blink away, that should already be a big indicator. Try and fight, but there's that damage from no one we're talking about, right into Stinger. Ramsey's helped out as well to get that one, and you just can't do this. And Solo's found another target. Lifestealer's still just farming over in the jungle on the side. He'll rage up, feels confident. Solo, is there a stun? There is. Blink forward from Pasha, connects to the Roar, and with Laguna Blade damage, K1 will fall.
All right. now they need to stop throwing. Now it's now it's enough. I think that's where we're at now. That's the limit. Oh boy. It's like night and day. This whole game they've been amazing.
First 15
And the
minutes
last-
versus the second 15 minutes.
Oh no,
Actually,
first
20.
27 against last 3. They have messed up in 3% of the game and lost 80% of their lead. And VP are just gonna hunt them. VP are momentum team. When they're feeling it, they're gonna go for it. There you go.
Yeah.
Case in point. Next kill.
But watch him chase. Watch him chase. Chris blinks forward. Raise number 1, but no one into the BKB. That's why you weren't seeing Chris going for the Requiem.
And that was an AA buyback as well. So that kind of felt like 2 kills.
Yep. And there's still all 4 bounties, I believe. Yeah, it was. All 4 bounties to Virtus Pro.
TI is magical, man. Things just happen.
Yeah, like all the comebacks from Megas. Like we had another one because like Newbie was able to do it today. But the crazy 1v5 from Arteezy yesterday. And now we have normal item builds on support 4s with 4-staff Ether Lens and Aghanim Scepters Lenas for 30 minutes into the game. It's like, sure.
Yeah, that's a key item to point out because with this Ags, they have the easy kill potential over on the lifestealer. If he gets down below half, he can die. Shadow Fiend now has the Lincolns complete, so it will be harder on him, but they can still remove it with Demonic Purge if they want to. So yeah, these Lincolns are good, but they are removal tools. They can choose which ulti they want to burn to unlock the other one. There's Demonic Purge, there's Roar, there's Laguna, all 3 of them currently piercing BKB and Rage. So, man, this game just got exciting.
Well, like,
Anything can happen now.
It definitely got interesting. There's no doubt about that. But Infamous just had to get back on board. Apo, ooh, hello. Tusker, blinked up into the trees. They're chasing him. Torrent, he needs to cut through the tree. He can't do it. He's trapped. X marked up once again. He can shard and try and block it back out again, but Roger will connect on the LSA. As 4 heroes from Virtus Pro being committed to get that kill, that is still buying some space for the rest of Infamous. And Roshan is alive and a big option. But also for Virtus Pro. Tuskar's dead for 40 seconds. They can just go in.
Yeah.
Does Infamous try this? Ice Blast is coming off. Well, actually, Ice Blast got sent to the bottom lane to push in the wave. That needed to go towards Roshan. No one's just going to rip apart Roshan. Vision's removed. Legion hiding under an Invis rune. Could potentially blink in. They don't know the timings, but here's that moment. Roshan 400 life. They go for the duel over on the SD. No one's already got the Aegis Immortal and the cheese available with the Torrent connecting. You've lost your Legion Commander so fast. Infest and blink away. SF and Lifestealer will be able to survive. So they didn't contest Roshan. You got to buy back on the SD, and then they go to bottom lane. BT's down. They're going for the tier 3 towers. They'll force the buyback out. Stinger will die in the meantime. And the TPs into the trees. They're keeping themselves hidden. So Ramses waits for the second TP. He wants Roger to be there because he wants his surprise Laguna Blade to connect it to the Lifestealer, and they're waiting him out. There's your Rage TP out. Can you Laguna and kill him? They're waiting for it, but it won't be enough.
He had Lincoln's ready.
That's
There's no
right.
breaker. They had no Roar, and they had no Shadow Demon in position with the Demonic Purge. If they did, that's a death. But they do get out. They got some good damage on the tower. 1/3 of it gone in that instance.
It still feels like a very interesting choice. It's like,
Yeah,
okay, well,
it's creative. I think that was a good play. In contrast to the last 5 minutes, a lot of things are a good play. That was a good play.
we'll take it.
Yep. Infamous got to be... They need to regain composure now. They've lost so much control of the game. Kunka with cheese, Aegis on the TA.
The Vision game has also become a lot harder. If you actually look at the map, it looks like one of those like the things the streamers use, just to connect all the dots together for every single Sentry Warden that goes up through Roshan, up through the river, and up through mid lane.
And no one decided to never go for Blink this game. He just
moved on.
We thought the timing they were waiting for was the Blink and BKB, but it was only the BKB on Kunka at the time. They're going full on damage on TA, expecting that the team can set her up nicely enough. There's plenty of catch, so that's completely fine. They have X-Mark, Roar, Disruption.
Is he fine doing that against Whisper? Whisper jumps in, duels, okay, well I'm just gonna Blade Mail.
I think he's going to probably have a high chance of winning the duel.
Yeah.
And if he does lose it, he has Aegis currently. And outside of that, there's always the disruption against the duel and the ghost ship to help him survive. What do you think the win chance is now?
I'm gonna say like 65.
Give me your best guess.
And it's 63.
You still thought Infamous were favored?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not bad.
I still think they're favored mainly because like the live stealer as well as the SF, like it's still burst combinations. The Legion control is still a big thing to look at. Like this is always an interesting choice. Let the Radiance burn, do the rest of it, but Whisper's hanging in the trees. But it allows for a 2-2 bounty rune control. But it's also the Ancient Apparition. Like, I'm feeling like we're not feeling the influence of Stinger at all, but this Ice Blast should be putting VP in a little bit more of a world of fear, but I don't know.
He's just been dying a lot lately in the game. He dies too fast. He hasn't had the impact that he did in the first half of the game in the second one. And you're right. These Ice Blasts needs to connect, and he needs to be there for his team. His one item can change the game. One Force Staff.
Yep.
Can change everything if he's alive and in range.
And Skullfell could also save a hell of a lot of people too. Like a blink into a snowball save, you can come out at any time. You got 4 stars for repositioning too.
Oh, VP are pressuring them hard here.
Yeah, they are.
That
They've come
tower's
up.
dead.
Yeah, no one does too much damage too quickly. There is the disarm. And even the illusion's pushing in the mid lane. X marks spot, Ramps can move in. No one ripping apart that range Rax. He's protected by the refraction and the X mark pullback. But he's also got the Aegis Immortal. That's the bigger thing for him. E-Blade pick up now from the SF. He's still in mid lane. Chris is not here ready to fight. And because no one's just so damn strong, you can E-Blade pop him. Start stacking up the razors. Burn through no one. He's got no refraction charges, so Schofield, he'll jump himself in. Defensive disruption. K1 looking to get to the back lines. No one perfectly trapped up by the shots. Remember, it's going to be the Aegis, the Immortal. Chris now has to BKB and let the Requiem go. Oh, he wants to kill off Lina in the back lines. Is he going to raise? He's only done one. Now blinked himself away to safety. But the top rack is gone.
That time he definitely could have Requiem, though. Because this time Roar and Demonic Purge were used, and he still had his Lincolns ready. But still didn't want to go for it.
And they just keep... no, he wants to go for bottom lane again. Move as quick as you can, push out the other way. The creep wave's going in through the top now.
And VP got what they came for. Sure, they lose their Aegis, but they got a full lane of barracks. TA sitting on 8,000 gold. He's going to hit even harder with this Daedalus coming up in just a moment. Nope, never mind, changed his mind. He's probably going to go, is this a Manta? Is it Lincoln's? Or, okay, it's nothing.
It's a Satanic.
Satanic. Okay, he changed his mind completely once again.
Because nothing is stable in this game.
Not sure how much I like this Satanic, though. The status resistance is good against a lot of these stuns and the duel, I suppose,
But if the Ice Blast connects, like,
yeah.
like your timing can be really, really bad. But again, there's more pressure on Stinger.
It is, but it's also a more clean choice. Now you counter the 6k item, and you feel extra good about hitting the Ice Blast on this guy.
VP are ready to fight in mid, but the top lane is still pushing in. They have to send the SF back, and that's going to be a pretty open ticket for Virtus Pro to fight.
Hawk.
The TA trap sees Stinger.
Hawk.
The Hawk's just seeing everything, and a quick blink away from Whisper. What are you doing, K1? It's like he wants to try and turn a fight. SF's TPing down to the bottom wave, and they might find that opening over on Pasha, dropping him low. Defensive disruption. Chris is still waiting for the perfect opportunity. The Razor's timing wasn't great, and the back line is where the real hit comes onto the Legion Commander. She's already down. The defensive snowball came way too late. Stinger's TP out will be successful, but the rest of Infamous are trapped behind. The Roar is there to nail down the SF. They got through the Lincoln Sphere. And K1, he wants to Radiance burn down solo, but the defensive disruption and the distance, he's got the life. Break the Lincolns once again. Snowball, despite a little bit of extra space, back into the TA trap. Rage is coming off cooldown in just a second. And that'll let him move a little bit faster. He's not doing the TP, however. The Lincoln Sphere wasn't there to protect once more. These fights are so weird.
Chris didn't Requiem, and they mistimed a couple of things there. So the Ice Blast that was supposed to hit the Beastmaster, they let it fly over the top so the disruption could complete, but then he still fired it too early so he didn't get clipped, and he could blink. And the Shadow Demon didn't Requiem. He missed his last 2 raises on the Beastmaster that he committed to kill. And yeah, it just seems like they're not that confidence that they had earlier to just go for it and hit all their spells. They're second guessing themselves. That's really what it looks like.
Yep. Infamous trying to be as aggressive as they can. Tries to try and delay this buyback on the SF, but if you're going to use it, you may as well use it now, and that's exactly what happens. Ramsey's under the tier 3 tower. Tusker trying to get in close. There's the E-Blade pop and defensive disruption once again. SD makes it difficult. Lifesteal losing life quickly. Here comes your Ice Blast. It's so small, however, it will clip the back of the TA, but she's protected by the BKB. Doesn't take the blast, but will have the chill effect. And, well, goodbye Tusker. Dragged back down again, and look at Beastmaster Pasha. He has Raw, but that's very, very aggressive. Another bash off the back of the meld. The duel is out, but it won't be enough. E-Blade Pop trying to actually protect the Legion, but she's already down the Requiem. It's so far away. I need a binoculars to see that ability. That's GG. Infamous are calling it. All the confidence is gone. And VP will take game 1. That was a swing. What was it? 92, 94%?
94.
94.
Oof.
Well, we just proved the 6%.
I kind of feel bad. I'm sitting here
Yeah.
with this feeling of, man, that's gotta suck.
Infamous,
You know?
Infamous were
Like,
really earning that. They
they
were
earned
totally
that-
earning that,
they-
but they also earned the loss.
Exactly. That's what you gotta point out, right? They earned the win, and then in the end, they ruined it for themselves. I don't feel like, at the point of the 94-6, if you're the defending team that's having a really hard game, sometimes you pull off that like really miracle defense or a
Yeah.
sick play that brings you back in the game. I don't think VP made an outstanding play to get back in the game. I think it was handed to them. And that's
Yeah.
what's the shame, because it's much cooler if the defensive team does something crazy good.
Yeah.
But it kind of feels disappointing when you see Infamous. They're playing so well.
Dude,
and then
it was-
this
it was
dive
that-
mid?
Yeah, at the tier 2
What
tower.
is going on?
It was so weird, right? Because they blink in, they're going to be aggressive. It's like, we rethink this. Let's just walk away. Like, there's no escape with their lineup to do that. They just tried to walk away from Virtus Pro.
Imagine you play the fight again, and you made the same jump, and you just hard committed to it. They might even have won. Like, it was
Yeah.
it was not a good jump. It was in a bad position. The execution to begin with wasn't good. But
Yeah.
when you start retreating like that, wasting all of your cooldowns defensively, you just let the enemy team run you over and get, how many kills did they get? 3 or 4?
Yeah.
In a really bad
it was
position,
practically
and
everyone.
Aegis.
Yeah, it was like the AATP down. I think that was the
Yeah.
only thing.
That's got to feel bad. And
Yeah.
VP are the ones who really need this win to make sure they stay alive.
Yep.
We talked about Infamous needing this win to have a chance at the upper bracket. This could have been a really important game for them.
Yep.
If they are one game short of upper bracket in the end of this, man, that's got to sting.
Yeah, because
We've had a lot of crazy games this TI, though. This isn't an outstanding or an outlier. We've had
Yeah.
4 mega creep comebacks.
Yeah. Hey, you've got Alliance playing this
Crazy.
event. There's always something that goes a bit funky. But as pro, hey, they take game number 1. Let's see what we get for game number 2. It won't just be one thing. There'll be many different ways to go. Hello, everybody. Welcome again to the broadcast. Our last game of the day, Infamous versus Virtus Pro. Virtus Pro looked like they were not going to win that game if Infamous kept going the way they were going. But hey, it's a whole new game. It's a whole new day, and
it's the same day.
It's the same day. Okay, so it's just a whole new game.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we kind of covered it.
Right
we
kind
of
meant to be a bootleg thing,
We
man.
kind of covered it in. I didn't know what that was supposed to be. I know
That's
but
fine. It's just my references. No one get what my references are.
I got it.
You did?
I know that reference.
Oh, you just ignored it.
I know that song. I just said it's not a new day. That's it. I mean, okay, so Infamous basically in this last game kept building their advantage. They were doing super well. They were flat out outplaying VP across the map. They outskilled them individually.
Yep.
They made better team movements.
Yep.
And then they dove and kind of threw away their lead. And then they threw away their lead a bit more and a bit more. And then VP started playing really well and just crushed the game. So huge momentum shift. You got to reset after that game and get your head in the next one. That's how it goes in this kind of stuff. So let's see what they've got for us in this one.
Oh, we're through a lot of the bands already, and Silencer.
First pick, Silencer.
Okay.
That's a bit of a change up.
Yeah, that seems a little different. Unless they're going to be playing this as a core, and that's the surprise.
This might be their AA alternative when Alchemist is banned. This could be why they're doing it.
Okay.
First pick the 5 for Stinger and get some information out of VP.
Wonder if VP
take it away from VP as well.
Wonder if VP want to go for the Chen. He managed to slip through the pool.
True.
It's a tree. And a Lich. Alright, so we'll just overlook the normal meta heroes and we'll go for something slightly different.
Okay. That's a very different opener, and none of these heroes is particularly good against Silencer, in my opinion. Silencer's pure damage ignores Frost Shield, he has a lot of magic damage, and then he obviously has the Global Silence, which is really good against heroes like these two that are pretty much nothing but spellcasting. They have so little to bring to fights except spellcasting. Tring has a little bit. If he's coming out of the trees, he can still root. I think he still roots out of if he's silenced when he attacks.
It should.
Yeah, I think it should.
Because it's not like you can silence it, because it acts as a passive, right?
Yeah, that's what I think.
So you don't silence the passive.
You are actively casting the spell when you start it.
Well, you cast to go invis, but you don't cast to come out.
I would think you can flat out easily root people out of silence, but
yeah.
Okay, and they grab the Tinencer, the tiny.
How to stop a tree and protect it? Just start clear. Well, actually, he doesn't really clear the trees, does he? Not unless he's got volley.
No, just toss him away though. Get him out of the trees. Yeah, this opening from VP is very different. It has some laning pressure in the way of Treant. Lich they could technically lane together. This is actually a strong lane. They have so much damage.
You think maybe this could even be like a 3-position tree?
That's another option, but I don't think they're going to do that. I'm pretty sure
we could go classic CIS and go BZZ Radiance one-position tree.
Absolutely not. This is a
that was a good time.
This is a Roger hero though. This Treant, so I'm expecting him to play it. And then what they do have is they have a lot of physical save, right? They have living armor, they have frost shield. So that's probably what Infamous are identifying. They're like, what are these two heroes good at? They're good against physical damage. Living armor is good against all types of damage, except if you remove the layers. Avalanche removes 4 layers, I think. Maybe more nowadays. That was the old Avalanche. Perhaps the new one is long. Anyway, might remove more, and it's spell damage. So Frost Shield is not a big threat to Tiny at all, and he can solo kill Lich in every fight if he sees him. Slark ban. How many bans have we seen on Slark compared to picks? We have seen so many bans. You and I in the second phase.
In the second, well, we've seen it like today. I think almost every single game.
I feel like we've seen this Slark get banned like 7 games and picked 0 or something like this.
It's been pretty ludicrous for us.
Yeah.
No doubt about that.
Like in every game, it's a ban second phase.
I'll just double check the overall stats for Slark.
It's one of Infamous's heroes that they've had success with in this tournament, so makes sense that VP banned it out. It's kind of just a respect ban here.
Slark's been banned 31 times.
He's good against Treant's living armor too, so it makes sense.
Yeah. The most banned hero right now? Enchantress.
Okay.
Only just though. She's at 71 bans to the 70 bans of Alchemist.
Man, I was thinking about taking Ench instead of Chen. I should have done it.
Chen's at 46 right now.
I should have done it. Yeah, Chen's never catching up.
No, it's definitely a race between the Alchemist as well as the Enchantress. But hello, Juggernaut.
Hello.
Magnus has already been banned out, so there's no easy buff up for him.
10 seconds remaining.
True.
But he is a nice mana style builder against the Silencer. But he also feels like someone that Tiny can pop if he gets the right jump time. But he actually, he has to instantly hit the Avalanche.
He has to instantly hit the toss.
The toss, send him up.
Can always spin in the Avalanche. Since it's
It's
the
like
mini
mini
stuns all
stuns.
the time. The old Avalanche was the one that stunned for consecutive, was it second? I think.
Yeah, it's like 1 second, 1 second, 1 second, right?
It was just a 1 second stun.
Yeah.
The old Avalanche was shorter and smaller AoE, but it was a consecutive stun, the way I remember it anyway. You're getting old. But I think that's how it was. But yeah, with this one you can always spin, so that's maybe the logic, that you'd have to start with toss, and that makes it a bit harder, and you're also relatively good against Silencer because you buy Manta. And it might be, also, just Lich Juggernaut, the lane. Natural synergy. Put Frost Shield on the Jugger, he spins in, then he slows during his spin, and Lich has a secondary slow. And even when it comes to TPing out from plays later, Lich also has the gaze to let Juggernaut kill heroes in Omnislash. Kunkka's going to be grabbed from Infamous. VP had that the last game. Infamous played this hero in both games against EG earlier today, I think, and they won one of them. So definitely very capable players on this hero. I like him against the Lich. I think he's okay against Treant. Against Jugger, it's a bit so-so. You can't X-Mark combo him because you can just Blade Fury out. But it gives them this nice catch for this strong team fight where if they find another core than Jugger, X-Mark, Torrent Ship. If the enemy team tries to help them, instant global and bring that guy down.
Yeah.
Build the fight from there.
I'm interested to see like how VP now want to approach their other lanes. Like the combination with Lich and Treant's always fun because it just enables your offlane.
Yeah.
Without having to actually put the tree there. Like, yeah, he could be a stunner, but you can also just living armor style. And that's kind of like that, put the Juggernaut in with the Lich.
I do think they want to dual lane with the Treant. I think he loses... At this point, when you have the Jugger, either you dual lane with the Treant or you tri-lane the you aggro the Jugger.
I'd actually love to see them put the Doom in the tree in the safe lane and run Juggernaut Lich dual off. And then just free up the mid.
Yeah, the Jug Lich off lane makes sense once they know the matchup. They need to know if they're good against the enemy carry in the safe lane. They don't know the carry yet. I think this is a position 4 Tiny, but it could be position 3. It could be a 3 Kunkka and a mid Tiny.
It could be a 1 Conqueror and a 2 Tiny.
Plenty of options still.
Yeah. And again, this is Infamous. They could do whatever the hell they want to. Never be 100% certain. But they do need something that's able to either kill off the Doom or tank through the Doom.
Yep.
Or save through the Doom. Because there's not a lot of those options for Infamous at the moment. Shadow Demon was the one they turned to before Chaos Knight.
Oh, classic Infamous hero. Classic hero for them. I don't know if that's the first pick of this hero this tournament. I have not seen a game with Chaos Knight in it. It's got to be very low pick rate. Like, really low. Sub 5 games.
Okay, there's one time he's... Okay, was that a ban or was that a pick? I looked at combined. One time he was banned. Has not been picked. This is the first Chaos Knight of the tournament.
Yep. All right. Well, that increases the number of total pick heroes by 1. I think we're already over the 101 for the compendium prediction, right?
Yeah.
And the bans are probably closing in on the upper end of 91 to 100, perhaps. I'm not 100% sure about where we're at with that, but yeah, Chaos Knight, cool hero. So he is not like fantastic in this game, but he's solid. This is a hero. This is a team preference thing. Their carrier player Hector loves Chaos Knight, and he has burst potential against Doom. Doom has low armor, so having a high physical damage hero like Chaos Knight can just blow him up. He's good against Juggernaut in the same way when Blade Fury is down, or if you can global him and then pull him before he has Manta, just blow him up with Chaos Knight. And on top of that, he can get rid of living armor because he has a lot of units, right? So all those hits, the blocking will still be effective, but at least the armor will fade and not have the regen running, and he can take the towers, so living armor doesn't keep those alive.
There's 12 heroes that haven't been played. That's what we're down to now. That was the 13th last hero to be played, the Chaos Knight.
Yeah, Techies is fortunately one of them.
Tackies is in there, but so are some other fun heroes like Tinker and Klings, who I thought would actually get a lot more. I thought Klings would get a lot more of a play.
Clanks
this
is
tournament.
surprising to me that it's unpicked entirely. I agree with that.
Yeah, because like leading up to it, like it was like I think at the summit it was used frequently. That's just this nice ganking kind of invis style.
Yep.
With the rush dagger and Interceptor builds. So Beastmaster final one. All right, cool.
10 seconds remaining.
Stun to pierce immunity. Nice way to hold the Juggernaut in position. A lot of melee.
5
A lot
seconds
of
remaining.
melee.
Yeah, for both teams, really. We're working on 7 melee heroes this game currently. Okay, do VP go for the Timber? It looks like a pretty sick Timber. It's banned. Damn.
Guess Guess they don't go for the Tempest, they go Necro.
Oh, they go their version of the anti-strength hero mid for no one, the Necrophos. This is a pretty good Necrophos game. There's a bit of a trap. There's the Tiny Burst in Ghost Shroud. There's Global Silence. And of course, Kunkka has a good magical burst as well. But as far as Beastmaster and Chaos Knight go, they're almost exclusively physical. So once he gets the right items on this bird, he can deal with a lot in this game by getting a Lotus Orb. It's a high value item. Can remove global, gives him armor against the physicals, and he should be able to stay alive. And he will have a good laning stage. He's laning
I
against
love how you don't
Kunkka.
even call him like a person anymore. Like he's not like an undead person. Like he's actually just a bird now.
Look at it.
Yeah. It is. It still reminds me of Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah.
As well as
I don't know why though, because I haven't watched it.
That's fine. I'll show you a picture after this. Like it's really creepy, actually. Like it's really really creepy. That whole episode or 2 episodes was really creepy.
So we didn't really get to cover the Beastmaster either as a pick in this draft. The attack speed aura is good for Chaos Knight, so that's maybe a synergy that they've been trying out. They have a very clear engagement plan where they go in with Roar and Global Silence and kill someone. They have X-Mark Global Silence combo. They have Tiny Global Silence combo. Plenty of ways of setting up the global for success and getting kills. And now it's about, can Infamous do similarly to last game, these high pressure and early aggressive plays? Because if they can, I see this as the kind of game where they can definitely build an advantage once again. VP's lineup, it's a bit on the slower side. Necrophos doesn't go very fast. Doom needs build-up time. Juggernaut is one of the faster carries, but it really depends on the team he's playing with. And then the support duo is Lich Treant. Like, there is so little in the way of playmaking here
It's
from
like
VP.
if you start falling behind, what does Lich and Tree actually do to get you back into this game as well?
Yeah.
Like, it's one of the things I like about the Infamous lineup is it's always about repositioning. Like, you've got the Toss, you've got the X, you've also got Reality Rift. And correct me if I'm wrong, didn't that actually get recently changed to, like, a lower timer as well? Yeah, cooldown was reduced
Much
from
lower.
from the 20 and the 5s, and then it's like 14, 11, 8, 5.
Yep.
So K1 can always get very much up in the face of Virtus Pro. Roger's on a ward mission at the moment.
And there's Roger scouting out the Chaos Knight. So
Yeah.
they know the laning.
30
It's going to be
seconds.
CK Silencer bottom. It's actually a pretty decent lane, but if VP choose to aggro tri-lane, as they're currently posing to do, that's a strong lane. That's a really strong lane.
Yeah, as long as they can actually still remain aggressive. But when you group up against Silencer, I suppose Silencer normally goes for the Glaives level 1. Doesn't actually go for the Arcane Curse. But
Yeah,
if they're grouping up, then you can cause some problems for VP. Stinger, I don't think you really want to be here. He feels the confidence. No, he does not. He'll back up at Roger, get the initial hit. Ramsey's moving in closer. Solo actually went for the Frost Blast to begin with. Needs the slow to allow Ramsey to always stay on top of the target with the Blade Fury. And Stinger will most definitely be dead.
And they chose to give the first blood to Ramses there. That was the luxury they had. They had more than enough damage, so giving it over to the carry, letting him get Quelling Blade or Boots. Probably going to buy the Quell and Stick, maybe?
It'll still be a 2-2 bounty rune trade. Both of them were claimed by Whisper up on the top.
Well, they might even get
Oh,
3 then,
Scarfeld.
because there's still a rune bottom.
The sentry. He needs Roger to come back over to him so he can toss him underneath the tower. Like that has to totally be the play here.
Yep. He's going to toss him on Silencer.
A little too far away. His punches still do some good work against
There
the
is
tree.
still a bounty rune. Anyone want it?
They'll go back for it eventually. For now, I think VP need to actually stand in the lane. Maybe they're just letting it become a little bit more efficient. Get another sentry ward. Not to plan down. In fact, Roger got his own sentry ward. Here you go. A toss back. It actually just throws Stinger away. He might be able to get a quick curse off before he'll end up dying, which he can do. But it's still death. It's the second one for him. TP Stroll's still on cooldown for a little bit longer too, so we can't just TP back to the lane. He'll have to walk.
He needs to be super careful about his positioning. It's like Stinger went from being great in the start of the last game, and then he started having this chain feed section almost, where he was getting caught out a lot and dying, and now in this laning stage early on, he's continuing to have a couple of unnecessary deaths. I think at this point you have to accept you can't play aggressively in this side of the trees. You're going to get rooted, spun, and not Lich ulti yet. Relax, we're not there, Toby.
No.
You're going to get Frost Blasted and just killed off. And your teammates can't really save you. They can try to toss you on the enemy creep wave, but I mean, what are you going to do then?
Oh, that's what they're attempting to do. Skullfeld throws him up. Roger will come back down. Skullfeld needs to move further away. Roger will be slowed up. And Stinger, he's got the damage out, but Skullfeld comes back in to help out, and that's a +2.
That brings Silencer back in the game.
And Skullfield can even get the regeneration rune to boot. That's real nice.
That is perfect for him.
Dire does see it. The Observer wards it down, so Virtus Pro still have good information. They'll see Skullfield actually just running up the river, so no one can back up. He's been very aggressive here. Oh wow, actually they can go a little bit deeper. Skullfield, what's he really got? Is he, no, yo, he's not tossing Chris under the tower.
I'll be creeping while you are sleeping.
It's generating a little bit of an advantage here for Kunkka in terms of raw CS just for a little while, but no one is already clearly ahead in this lane. This is a Necrophos favored lane matchup, and he's delivering.
It's no one's comfort zone. Great CS for Juggernaut as well on the safe lane. Here comes your route over towards K1. Put up the Frost Shield and the Blast, and Chaos Knight. No way he can move fast enough to get out of there. In reality, Rift doesn't let him reposition like that. We just get closer to the damage. TP's back quickly. I shouldn't even go for it. He's just a 1-0-1.
I'll be creeping while you
VP's
are
laning in this game is really good. I think they got the ideal lanes. Their favored bottom, their favored mid, and top is going to eventually be a draw, I think. Beastmaster has a little bit of a head start, but then it's a draw, and then, you know, it's doom. He will farm.
Like how Stinger's just trying to stay in range. Oh, is there a toss back? Ramsey's is spinning. Skullfeld can't actually find the right target to grab and throw back. Now we can. Up and towards the air. Down comes the Juggernaut. And K1 have enough, combining with the tower damage and the curse. Ramsey's will fall. It's a big spree to end. You're already 4 minutes in. That's 512 gold going the way of Stinger.
Suddenly Silencer's like...
They've got money, boys.
He's almost got more net worth than his mid Kunkka now.
They still want to get a little bit more. They're getting rid of the sentry wards.
Oh, speaking of Kunkka, he has to go back to base.
Oh, sad life.
He's getting destroyed, actually. This is a very, very well executed lane from no one. He's 21-10 against Kunkka's 14-5, and there's even more CS coming. He's out leveling him by a full lane. And remember, Tiny even helped in that mid lane.
They're fortifying up just to...
He's delaying the midway from away from the tower so he can get all the experience.
Gotta hit the turret. A little bit of chip damage into no one, but it's also no one. He doesn't really care. He's got an arcane rune. He's just ready to spam up. So Chris is right back at the lane. He's already at half-life. But the battle for the 5-minute runes will now begin. Ramsey's is moving over. Skullfeld just wants to get him away with the avalanche. Ramsey will spin, but Skullfeld will stay on top. But Ramsey still picked up the bounty rune. All that hard work from the Tiny is going to lose his life no matter what. Actually, what the hell? Okay, Roger's trying to stay invis by putting down the happy tree. Maybe with the leech seed.
He's gonna get tossed. He's fine.
Yeah. Over to the side camp.
That was a cool try from Roger, though. I don't think he's catching up.
Oh, is Chris actually in trouble too in the trees? He runs through the north. That's a real nice juke from Chris. No one kind of stuck battling with the creep wave, and Roger spends a long time chasing.
But look what's happening to the mid tower. He bullied him away, and Chris has to go to the shrine. So this mid tower already down to half health. Roger's going to help with one smack. Your root does not work on the tower. Could kept hitting it if he wanted to, but looks like the siege creep will eventually die here from no one. But really, really good damage done, and a big early advantage for VP in this game.
want to keep my eyes up on top for a bit. Like, Whisper's hit level 6. Just before Pash is going to get his. This creep wave will give him level 6. Okay, maybe we look towards the mid instead. Scottfield's trying to move through the trees. But he needs to get closer towards no one so they get a toss back. But no one, without boots, doesn't actually have the movement speed, so they're going to grab him, but too far away to get the toss. Okay, maybe. No, he's just in range. Chris Luck can now start up, has X marks a spot. Yep, he'll trigger it, bring him back. K1 will die in the meantime in the bottom lane. The bigger one they really need. Another toss is available. No one, get back over here. Underneath the tower, but he's got another death pulse. He's still surviving. Pasha's moving in quickly too with the Scorched Earth. He was about to trigger the Doom, but he doesn't have the mana for it, and they just drop the Wreath to the side over on Skullfeld, juking out the Torrent. Chris Luck can't hit anything, and the Frost Shield starts pulsing from Solo. A double kill for no one underneath the tier 1 tower just after they kill the CK on the bottom lane too. This is definitely a VP game right now.
Yeah, and this tower's going to fall too in mid. I don't think there's any way they defend it in the long. Maybe just for now he holds it. He could try to keep it outside of deny range. Looks like that's what's exactly what Solo's going, or no one's going for. He will get it very soon though. Level 7 Necrophos against level 5 Kunkka. That's a rough lane.
K1. Not quite certain how aggressive you want to be here. Ramses can just drop the healing ward and they'll come back up. Top tower, Whisper looking for the last hit. Pasha and Whisper will battle it out, but Whisper not timing his balls absolutely perfectly, and that'll allow Pasha to get the denial on the tower. I think Skullfeld's looking for, I don't know, he's going to toss Stinger in. Curse will begin over on Art Style, combining with the Avalanche. You can actually toss Lich around, but he's still got the damage reduction. Won't be enough. Skullfeld finishes the job, but the mid tower was taken out by no one.
Art Style is down.
Solo is down. Sorry.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
I'm glad you love it. I hate it. So bloody stupid I keep doing this.
Look, every player in my game has the wrong nickname, okay?
Yeah, I know.
And I'm dealing with it.
Well, I'm sorry. I didn't realize your adversity was so difficult.
I'm not calling Silencer Bagheera the Panther, even though that's his nickname.
Roger's looking for a fight.
Yeah.
K1, he's able to get the root off on him. Here you go again with the Frost Shield. Stinger trying to help out. It's a good curse, but the spin already up for Ramsey, so he's not really as effective as Skullfeld. With the haste rune, tosses up. They'll be able to get that kill over on the Tree Protector. Wants a little bit more than this with the body block. Can't really get it off perfectly on Aphro, and Aphro just goes into the Omni side. Skullfeld's like, please take this off me, and into the trees. He's got 60 HP, bottled up quickly, moves around, avoids the Torrent, and thanks to that high movement speed, he will get away. May not be so lucky for the Kunkka. Doomed up as Pasha has arrived into this lane. Again, that slow, making all sorts of problems, and what does Stinger do? All he can do is put a little bit of a silence in. That's not going to be enough until...
Just a freebie.
Yeah.
For who was that again, Jagger?
Am I doing it? Am I actually? You know, I'm just gonna fucking stop. I'm gonna have a drink. We're having a break. Having a Kit Kat. I'm done. I'm just done. I'm done. I'm done.
Let's call them by their hero names instead of their name.
Just how about I am just not like screwing it up? That's the other option. How about I just get good?
I have known you for many years. That is not an option.
Yeah, you know what happens when I get these weird tics in my brain.
Well, that's funny. All right. Well,
hey, I've managed to get over. Oh, now I'm actually gonna screw his name up.
Don't psych yourself now. Just
yeah. Suxa. I can do Suxa correctly.
We're okay. Oh.
I managed to correct Suxa from in my vocab. But there's always one stupid ass thing that I get. Avalanche coming in, tossing up and dropping down the ledge, but Torrent ship combination as well will connect onto Afro. That's really good with the follow-up. Stinger needs to keep the damage coming in, so Arnstar will fall down. Pasha doesn't have a lot to work with. That's Solo. Shut up!
I don't know why this is so funny to me.
I'm even trying to stop myself.
It's not even that funny. It's just funny because you keep doing it. It's like if it happens once, whatever.
Yeah, yeah. You know that whole like happens once, twice, three, four, whatever. Like shame on me.
Dude, I think it's really funny.
They
put it in their nicknames. They're asking for it, okay?
No, they're not asking for it. They really are not asking for it.
I think they're doing it to troll the casters.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's to shout out. I'm not sure if Ramses wants to shout out Alpha Ninja after what's been happening lately.
I used to be able to do it, like when NS used to play and we always had Night Stalker being played, like we used to be able to get around that kind of crap in the past.
Yeah.
Now it's like, yeah, let me just call Angame everybody.
It's all good.
Oh, Pasha moving
bottom.
forward with Solo to go after Chris. As they'll move through the bottom lane, Chris being stunned up by Pasha. No one will drop down the Reaper's scythe as Ramses arrives just to see the end of the engagement.
And they're going to push this bottom tier 1 tower for sure.
Yeah.
They already got the mid tier 1. This is the next one on the menu. Only a 1k lead though for VP. I'm actually a bit surprised. I thought this was turning into something bigger, but
Where's all the money gone?
yeah, they had kind of a lead. How many bounty runes did the Radiant get last cycle?
I'm seeing 3 Infamous, 1 VP.
Yeah, it's not even a 4-0.
Oh, mid's about to go off. Tier 1 tower is being attacked. Infamous is forcing this one up. Solo's around the back. Roger, visible underneath Hawk. And, well, Scoffeld runs in, throwing Roger back up again. What Solo really want to do here? He has the Chain Frost available, but I think he understands that Roger's probably going to be dead. Another +2, Pasha in through the rear, looking for the Doom, getting roared up. They really need to keep that mana going down. The global stance, making sure there is no big ability, and Solo tossed back in. Skullfell wants to stay with him. He's got Avalanche off cooldown in 2 seconds time, and Whisper, summon up a ball, get the slow off, and just keep going and going and going. Eventually, Virtus Pro is going to lose intelligence, and just by smarts, Infamous can get on top.
I love how we were like, Silencer's dying died a lot last game in the end, and Silencer died twice in the start. Now he's just angry. 4-0-4 since he was 0-2-0 in the beginning.
Welcome back, Roger.
Oh,
he
this
knows their
one
sentries.
tree.
He's back under the sentries again. They tossed him in right on top of it. Roger will go down.
What the hell?
I am uncertain.
Okay.
And the Dire Tower is seeing the sentry. It's in range. He knows it's there. Maybe the vision didn't reach? No, the vision definitely reached.
It reached.
Well, I guess I'm reaching for an excuse.
I think he just wasn't expecting them to go for him, or that maybe he thought he was not visible on that side of the tree, or the Tiny wasn't close.
Hey, we're getting a Necro book again.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
We are.
Whisper's going for a Necro book. We saw KP attempt to do this before. He never reached it.
This is a good item against Necrophos because it has Purge on level 3. So could come very much in handy in this game. Can Purge the Frost Shield, can Purge Living Armor.
I like the push ability as well,
Nice.
outside of the, obviously the Phantasm push. As you start ripping through some buildings. Pasha's on the hunt under the cover of smoke.
Yeah, don't underestimate the aura of it too for Chaos Knight. It's a really nice item for him to have in his team.
Oh, they're looking to come over to CK.
Oh, he Phantasm in time.
Phantasm, which one? Well, it's only a 1 second stun, and Pasha starts to back off. The Phantasm moves forward. Hey, save the efficiency of the Midas too. Meanwhile, Whisper's just, like, he's not being touched up on the top lane.
I
So
feel
they
like
are
this
getting
is
a lot of space.
This is the primary reason the gold was so little when we talked about it the last time the gold lead, is that Whisper has been just farming like crazy up top, and now that they're ahead, you're starting to see why. He's top net worth in the game on this Beastmaster. Super rich, keeps controlling the area, keeps farming.
He's got the level 1 Necro book coming up. He's already got Vlads. He's already got Medallion.
And he's level 13, minute 14. He's the highest level in the game. He has an XP talent, which explains maybe the last little bit. He would be level 12 if not for that, but
Look at
still
him, just
really good.
They turn, they smoke, they want this level 1 book to go to work. And Necro, he's going to be the primary target. The Hawk will see him, so Whisper can just start off with a Raw. No one,
Oh,
it's just
he
out of
failed it.
range.
Really good read from no one to back off there. The scan missed. He didn't know for sure they were there, just anticipated it.
Now he's finished up the Greaves. That's a big opportunity missed by Infamous. Now the Silence has got a lot less control.
They're gonna grab the bounties up top, it looks like. No one is thinking about going in, but that's not it. He got a Hawk though. That's kind of nice.
I think they're pinging out where the Observer Ward was placed. That's obviously Infamous want to keep very close tabs on the farm patterns. Especially with the number 1 net worth hero for Virtus Pro.
And Chaos Knight is fully recovered from what was an abysmal start to his laning stage. He's ahead of Jugger now. And when you think back on what happened in this game, VP were combining a lot of heroes in this bottom area to take fights, and the whole time Beastmaster was farming. So if these moves don't give them big victories, they're getting out farmed because there's 2 lanes being farmed by VP and 3 by, I was about to say Androgessa now. You got me. Infamous.
Hey, Unvergesser is a fantastic name.
It's contagious.
Yep.
Your wrong way of thinking.
You know the absolutely hilarious thing was, like, when I first got to cast these guys at Atlanta, it was at Starladder, and Starladder is like renowned for having like the same food every day, and it's like pizza and burgers, and they'll just rock up every day. Unvergesser is like just munching on burgers, and that's it. It's like, how do we start the day? 3 burgers apiece. All right, Unvergesser is fueled. They're looking for their own fights. Around the back, Trees managed to do a full wrap around. Now, Overgrowth catching out Whisper. Quick roll, trying to make sure that Necro gets controlled as long as he possibly can. And Whisper, man, he's in a lot of trouble. That Chain Frost just bouncing against him. They put him down with the Reaper's Scythe. Scarfell wants to go for Morris. Pasha keeps the chase going. He does have the War Stomp available, so it's just this great chain control to then combine with Solo will pull him back and not get the kill. Scarfell just walks it off. Stinger, what are you doing up there?
They were not in. Oh, he's trying to defend his tower.
This is. Hey, come over here. Hey. Global silence until. Wait, really?
Okay, so
He's triple stacking the wave, global silencing, to then TP away to safety.
Infamous were not interested in turning there because Chaos Knight was bottom, but so was Jugger. They just didn't know, I think, because they had global the whole time to try to save Kunkka and make a fight out of that. Or Beastmaster, sorry, but they didn't try to save him, let him die, and now he ended up having to use global anyway to get himself out of there. So, not completely sure about that choice to not help out, but it was what they did, and they're still making space for Chaos Knight to get bigger and bigger.
Ramsey's just looking towards Chris. I don't know if no, he's not going to do anything with this.
Vessel's done.
He's got no teammates.
It's a big item against Necro, but as we've already covered, he has the Greaves. So, you got a Vessel around those Greaves, and then you can kill him.
Sting is the front man. CK is still just, he never wants to join these fights. Finished up the Sanj, working towards the BKB. Has to actually bring a TP scroll out in the courier. Stinger, gonna find Solo. Drops the Observer Ward, not exactly where he wanted to drop it, however. Yeah, quick sentry, get rid of the other. Oh no, Roger Quelling bladed it. Stinger has to burn an extra 100 gold. Not exactly what he wanted to have happen, but this is the reason why Quelling Blades become very popular for the supports.
Yeah, this seems to be happening quite a lot in the games that we watch, that there's overlap of sentries. Much more nowadays than there was a year ago.
That's a good movement down as well. Like
it's also because they're cheaper, right?
Yeah.
Because they used to be 100. They were 100 last year, right? And now they're 75.
That's true.
And wards were 75, and now they're 50. So there's like just more resources available.
I keep doing the wrong math. I keep saying, oh, you burned 200. It's actually, yeah, 150. Roger. Giving a lot of good information to find K1. He's got Phantasm available. And the team is nearby. Global Silence is still not up. There's the sentry wall being planted out. Infamous knew that the wall was planted down. That may be an easier target for Roger to go on, but yeah, you're just not feeling it. There's no vision inside the Radiant jungle. They don't know who's behind. Interesting to also see Whisper, like, very, like, just brown boots, walking around, but very quickly getting to that level 3 Necro book.
He knows it's a key item in this game. It's really, really good for a couple of reasons. We've talked about what it can dispel. We didn't talk about if it ends up dying. Necrophos can't control his aura, eventually killing off this Necro and taking that burst damage. And if he's going, now that he's going for Radiance, it's going to die that much faster. It can contribute to a little bit of a surprise kill. Damage you're not expecting is always really good against Necrophos because it's kind of a balancing act playing this hero. It's about you want to take as much damage as possible without dying, so that the enemy wastes time and then you out-heal it. And if there's something you didn't account for, like surprise Dagon or, you know, like a Zeus ulti, whatever it would be, you can just be that little bit extra.
Top push is coming in. TP's on the way. Roger's already gone invis with the level 3 Necro books down, actually. Kind of lost one of them already. Roar out, Juggernaut. Man, that's a lot of damage. Global Silence as well, making sure there's no follow-up, but Afro just going to Manta style it off. I mean, Ramsey's looking over towards Whisper. Yeah, I'm going to correct myself mid-fight. Whisper, lucky not to die into the Reaper's Scythe of no one. Sponsored by FN.
That was an ambitious turn, though. He roared a carry who has high armor and a Manta style with his Necro Book, and the only hero who was there to help, who was even there to help? They globaled? Who was there?
And he lost.
Was Silencer there? Or was it the Tiny?
Scoffel was nearby. It was tiny.
Okay.
And he already lost one of the Necros. He lost the blue.
Yeah. VP will happily take that. They use global as well, so now there's like a little bit of a power play for them where they can play that bit more aggressively on the map. Oh, looks like we're dewarding again, huh?
Yep.
Got
Avalanche got to create some space to get the. Oh, got it.
Got what he wanted.
Yeah, sentry for sentry. Or sentry for obs. So all these different creative places just around the corners of trees. You gotta start planning your obs wards.
Yeah, that's how it goes when there's this abundance of sentries and cheaper sentries now than there used to be. You got to get that bit more creative because the enemy team will generally have the resources to counter out your wards as soon as they get access to an area. It's kind of cool to see.
Scoffel? Yeah, nothing's real there. BKB's almost done for Chris. You're also getting a hand of minus in for Stinger. That's his next major item. Scoffel's trying to go for that survivability by getting the Ghost Scepter. And leaves Beastmaster to work his way into his own BKB.
Ramses is farming a stack. He's going to get full Maelstrom, his drums and Manta. He's probably going to go for the just to complete the Mjolnir to be able to fight Chaos Knight that bit better. And there's Necro 3. So
It's actually enough to find Chaos Knight. Like, obviously, because you got to find a blend of damage and survivability, because CK's going to hit him real hard.
the Radiance Necrophos is really good against Chaos Knight if he stays alive. The Radiance Burn, the damage from the Aura, as well as the Death Pulses will quickly kill off the CK ulti together with an Omni Slash. And it also gives targets for Chain Frost to bounce on, which can be both a blessing and a curse depending on the situation. You don't want all of your bounces to go on CK ultis usually. You'd like to hit heroes and kill them, but sometimes it can be great to kill off the ulti too.
Infamous being real cheeky. Going into Roshan, the Hawks giving him information. There is that fresh Radiance over on Necros. They blink in, jump, roll, everything they've got. Torrent ship, and it's just throwing the kitchen sink down towards Virtus Pro. A good Omni Slash out from Ramses, and Pasha protected by his BKB, looking for his own target. He managed to doom over on Chaos Knight, so there's no Phantasm. The Chain Frost really going to waste, and I think VP now have an empty tank. Afterwards actually pulling back Ramses underneath the Torrent into a spin. Solo's going to go down because K1's now online. The TP is there from Ramses to get him out to safety. But with the Phantasm up, they want to go into Roshan. Uncertain if Infamous is healthy enough to do this, especially when 3 of them get clapped.
They have Vlads.
They have enough? Yeah, the lifesteal is kicking in hard. VP can't get there in time. They're trying, but Infamous, they're way too fast. So Aegis the Immortal into K1.
That's big, because if he gets doomed next fight, he's going to run at them instead of running away. He'll just try to die so he can Phantasm after.
So this is that start onto Necro, everything you had.
The Chain Frost, or the Frost Shield even came off here before the Global. That's such a much faster kill if they Global while they Blink Roar. We'll just get completely blown up. And yeah, this Frost Shield was important. Ramses 100% dies here without Frost Shield.
Yeah, good fight for Infamous. Come back live to the smoke gank. They're looking around the 25-minute bounty runes. Ramses is the closest farming up. The Beastmaster Hawk starts its flight, and Ramses starts his run. As far away as possible.
This bottom tier 1 tower is going to fall, I think. Nope, never mind. It looked like Whisper was going to pop his Necro Book and just go to work.
They're here for the 25-minute runes. Like, if the fight's going to begin, like Pasha, for example, walking up this hill. Ramses walked away from the gank before, and now Pasha, most definitely, getting ripped apart, and that's going to be the tier 1 tower on bottom lane, and the line's been drawn to go for more.
Yeah, absolutely go for more.
Yeah, well, you got the Aegis Immortal, right? Like, you want K1 to have a target he can just initiate on.
They might go high ground, actually.
Actually push the whole way?
This will take a while, but he has Phantasm when they reach the high ground. They might try to see how much they can get.
They won't have
27
Necro
seconds on
books,
Doom.
Necro books are going to run out.
They have 30 seconds left
30
on them.
seconds.
That's a good amount of time. Look how fast this goes.
Yeah.
They have to glyph. Living armor is going to be used now. It's going to pop immediately. There's too many units. Yeah, I think they
Up
might
we
just
go.
Phantasm. See how much you can get.
Oh. K1's trying to wait it out. They're cutting through the tree line. They're looking to see where Roger is. Good Hawk flying up around the side. Gets a lot of information into the back lines. Ramsey's using that spin very early on. To make sure X marks spots means there's no shenanigans. But K1's just taking the tower. And now Chris, he'll get the whole thing off. Global Silence pulls him back in again. They want to try and get the kill over towards the side. They switch towards the Tree Protector, taking away that AoE control. Pasha gets the Doom off, but then there's so much damage. The Chain Frost is finally going to come out. And Schoenfeld, he takes it away from the rest of the fight. CK, he's the only one who follows the Aegis, the Immortal. The buybacks are coming in. And with the Phantasm, it's DPS time. Roger's the primary target. You do get at least the Reaper Scythe down on top of the Conquer, but they're just sitting in the back lines. K1's going ham. The Roar's on the Necro. Everyone from BP will have to buy back to try and defend this one. The Omnislash is there for Ramses, stomping out Stinger. The Centaur stomp. They actually have the control. They get through CK. Skullfell will try and create a little bit of extra space so we can blink away to safety. And he did make it. But Virtus Pro, 3 buybacks committed. Doom, Tree, and Lich to defend that bottom lane. They still lost the tower, but they keep the racks.
And Lich and Tree died again. So it was 2 diebacks, but it's not really that much economic damage because they killed big cores and they fought into an Aegis as well. We should remember that was a tough fight for them. And they dealt with it fairly well. This is not that easy. I'm not sure if Hector made the right call to not Phantasm earlier in this fight and wait for his Aegis, because when he did end up using the Phantasm after Aegis, which you'll see here, this is actually quite a long fight before he even dies the first time. He starts going into the Treant, kills him off. Now he's fighting the other heroes, but pay attention to the health of his teammates starting to drop now. Once he starts Phantasming later, the Kunkka is already running out of BKB. He's down to half. He's going to get focused now by Ramses, as well as a couple of other heroes. And you wonder if this Phantasm comes out earlier, even if he's like 3/4 health instead of full, if that couldn't have perhaps put enough pressure to keep his carry or his other core alive. But it's still a good fight, regardless. And a very close game still.
Yeah, if it wasn't for that buyback, I think, from the Doombringer as well, like it was partially able to get the secondary stomp and then the Infernal Blade down that just kind of slowed K1.
Yeah.
So he couldn't just keep beating
It's
through.
so fun, by the way, on the CK.
Yeah, what are we actually looking at for net worth? Okay, Juggernaut's actually #1. Same with the Necro, but CK is right behind, 16k.
It's the nature, generally what happens in CK games is that CK will eventually fall behind because he has worse farming options than these other heroes. He farms slower, and 28 minutes in, having about the same net worth as these other cores is good. He has a Midas as well, of course. I wasn't thinking so much about the net worth, though. I was just looking at his inventory. Like, he's just big. He has 4k health, and maybe an armor item would work wonders right now for him. He currently, what does he have?
He's going for Manta and then into Lincoln's.
He has a Vlad's on his team that's +4, and there's a Medallion on Whisper, which could be turned into a Solar Crest. That would make him a lot tankier, if they can use that effectively. And this is what they at least unlocked, right? Unlock the Shrine, take it down, and now Infamous can choose to play for the next Aegis, control the area. They have super good vision, they have Hawks, and they have this jumping threat that is super hard to get into with Treant.
I do like this Blink Dagger over on Pasha. Now it's Virtus Pro who have that ability to initiate.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think if you can, maybe Blink Dooming the Beastmaster could be really good. If they can kill him off quickly.
Actually get the Beast?
Yeah, because he gives so much to the team with auras. The Vlad's, the Necro Book, the Roar, his attack speed aura. Beastmaster has a lot of hidden damage in this game. Like, you don't really see it, but it's there.
No one. X marks up. He has nowhere to really get out of that, but he also understands there's no fight coming. Lotus Orb and Greaves plus Radiance to protect no one. They are destroying every single tree possible. It's when you almost wish that Whisper would buy an Aghanim Scepter.
Oh, they're going to take some initiative
jump
here.
Ooh, the blink! That's the reveal from Pasha, but he jumped in the middle of Necro Books. Ramses will also come over, trying to go for the Illusion Rune. He won't get it. And Skullfell, Roger, had no real trees to work with, puts the Overgrowth down, and that is one dead Tiny.
He has buyback.
He does.
If
he won't
VP try to
need
do
it.
something.
Roshan's still a while away. Using the Beastmaster Illusions and Army to push out the bottom lane once again to give him momentum. They're worried about the dewarding. Observer and Sentry. K1, you've gone in real deep too. Silencer is nearby. Ramsey's got to be careful. But it's all about a dewarding mission from Virtus Pro. They need to regain control of their own jungle.
And Silencer, we should not disregard this hero's scaling potential in this game. He has a GPM talent and a Midas. And with VP not putting much pressure on the map, this guy is going to slowly but steadily get toward big items. He currently has a Force Staff. Could see something like a Hex or maybe a Refresher somewhere down the line, and that will be crazy impactful for the outcome of this game. And nobody on VP of the supports is going to be able to keep up with this pace. Like, Treant, yeah, you can Meteor Hammer some waves here and there. Lich, you can't Meteor Hammer any waves because you have nothing. And yeah, the supports on the Radiant just way richer. That's kind of where the net worth difference is, primarily. It's the supports and the Beastmaster over the 3k ahead of the Doom.
I love how they still have this Observer and Sentry. Like, you talk about, like, being a little short of money. Could only afford one set of Sentries. And they get rid of one Obs only. So they didn't get the big one at the back lines, and that's what gives them the extra information. Here comes your Meteor Hammer from Roger. Just being a bit more of a nuisance in the trees. But the Necro Books have already been triggered. Whisper once more.
Time to cut down the entire forest looking for Treant.
I think Greenpeace has an issue with this.
Well, he might be predicting that Roger is going to try for this next wave, but Roger will see the units. Oh, he still just ran into them. He didn't see them. They were in the fog.
All right, 50 seconds without a Treant. That's really bad timing if Roshan spawned quick, but luckily for Virtus Pro, Roshan's another 2 minutes away. But it will allow them to take the mid-tier 2 tower unless there's something the Virtus Pro can do. Torrent flies in, clips over on Ramses. No one, X marks the spot. Remember that control. Avalanche flies forward. Where is that Global Silence? Kunkka is the one that's doomed. Now the Global Silence comes out. Necro, not much to really fight with here. Stinger just keeps the silence going. Another now Omni Slash. It's K1 who's trying to tank through all of it. He's already triggered the Satanic. They get the Reaper's Side. He's down for 2 minutes without buyback available. The Chain Frost will fly forward. Whisper, he'll bounce back down to Stinger and then back up again. No more bounces past that point. But Stinger's already gone down. Whisper will be able to complete his TP out in the trees. But it was meant to be infamous with the advantage that it's Virtus Pro who come out on top.
They're getting crazy value out of this Lich armor in this fight. They tried to all in the Necrophos, but he was frost shielded and has this much armor from the Lotus Orb, and when he just slowly gets the Greaves bonus, they couldn't get through it with the CK. They tried to all in this kill, and it just wasn't possible. And if you fail the Necro kill, the fight's over. Because it means you've wasted so much damage. You're going to see it here. The Phantasm coming in the back right now. He's going to pop it, try to go on the CK. Or with the CK onto the Necro. Wait, the Frost Shield was even on Ramses. That wasn't even a Frost Shield on Necro. He just doesn't have the damage. And yeah, if you fail this kill, all your illusions are gonna die to Radiance and Aura and Death Pulses. And with CK ulti down, this fight is just immediately lost. And they have to get the hell out of there. And that is huge for VP. Setting up for Roshan, getting map control ready.
You see him actually change his item build now. Like, he was completing up the Manta style, but it's Assault Cuirass before Lincoln's. It's now the CK's build.
And you see the build on Kunkka too.
Realizing Nullifier up and running.
Yeah, he has to be able to purge this Ghost Shroud. If they want to kill the Necrophos, they need the Ghost.
And everyone's waiting for Roshan, but he's taking his sweet ass time. 8 seconds and he'll spawn. The Beastmaster Hawk from Infamous will give them the information first. Who put that flag down? Who is it? Who is that?
Wait, is it? Oh. Oh yeah, they're not loading for me, so they look like empty frames. Looks kind of cool, actually.
VP's waiting. Roshan is up. Ramsey sending his illusions to the bottom lane just to get that momentum back again. Beastmaster started that. Stinger's trying to get some deeper vision in, and he's able to get the Observer down, but it's in range of the Dire Sentry, so no one, if he walks around the corner, he can get rid of that. Fresh Obs and Sentries, and another Obs. So both Obs that just got planned down by Infamous are in range of Sentry Wards. So Lich will get rid of it, and they just saw the second one behind him.
Yeah, that's big. They need to play around the Hawk now. Are they out of wards? No, they have 2 more on the Silencer. Bounty runes.
Necro just got spawned up. He needs to see up the hill to get rid of the Sentry Ward. Fresh Observers and Sentries being planted down. Hawk very quickly gets picked off. But man, burning Necro so that you can regain vision control. K1 feels very much like bait. Same for Ramses, picked up on the Torrent. Feels confident to have that Lotus Orb from no one just to protect him. And K1's also feeling pretty... Ooh, he almost grabbed Roger. Fresh observers and sentries being planted. They didn't realize the observer ward's off to the side. So sentry for sentry. K1 and Ramses move in. Lich ulti gonna bounce back out to the creep wave. A quick force up. K1 actually BK beat, and now he can go in again with a 4 seconds done. Maybe they have the control factor to actually bring down no one. Yes, they do. A very quick buyback as the Doom is into the backlines. Beastmaster can't give anything more, but he already gave everything he needed to. K1, he needs to do the damage right now. Another reality rift in. Ramses losing life. The meme hammer doesn't connect on anything. Roger, no one. Ramses back in the tree. Scottfeld can't find anyone. He'll hit Ramses with the avalanche. Finally, they'll turn around to take care of Pasha. Whisper, he's so low on life, but he'll survive through this as Doom has been isolated. Lich is also brought back to be part of the fight. Scottfeld, once again, just distracting.
He can't die now. He can't die now.
And he's not going to. No one. Go shrouded up. Chris Luck with the BKB. He's retreating back out again. Not a lot of man to work with. Stinger actually just walking right through the middle of Virtus Pro. He burns to the radiance of no one. K1 and Whisper getting the hell out of there. Watch your buybacks. Everything's up apart from the CK for Infamous and Virtus Pro. They're going into Roshan. This will force the buyback. But Ramses wants to keep going. That's confidence. Beastmaster Hawk comes up. All the information is now there. It's burning to the radiance, however, of no one. But quick silencers, curses, everything you've got. Stinger's just trying to slow them up for the moment around Roshan, and out comes Virtus Pro. They're in such a horrible choke point, and here comes the CK, the Warstorm, able to catch up with the Avalanche, and Tosca binding with the ship, turns the roar, it pushes them out of range of the boat and in towards Roshan. The Lich Hold is going to end up probably killing off Scottfeld as well. Silencer has already fallen down. Ramses coming back into the fight with the meme hammer. They can control the Kunker. No, they can't. A 3-man torrent. Space has been created for K1 to go back in again. Another 3 seconds done. They bring down the tree. The Avalanche. Another huge 3-man stun. Necro is protected. Here down goes Kunker. Buybacks available. And of course he'll use it. Of course he bloody well. They want to go for more. Pasha blinks away from the reality rift. It's still up from K1. Looking for a target. They're tossing him. Just trying to get him a little bit close towards someone. Ramses is here, still looking to fight with Roger and no one, but it looks like we'll disengage for the moment. Roshan, the target, is still available to go for.
And this was a hugely difficult fight for Infamous to take because they didn't have Phantasm the whole time, but they managed to have some crazy good spellcasting. All right, he's going to get X back. CK's coming back in. He just regenerated.
Yep.
Got some mana.
And now, here we go with the Manta Style. 2 seconds start now. Beastmaster wants to land aid. He doesn't have his draw available, however. And Chaos Knight's just waiting it out for the moment. Way! Don't know what that was.
All right, we've got a little bit of a crash. Here's Radio Dota. Nobody's dying. Everybody's running away from each other. They're waiting on each side of the river. Don't worry, Toby.
Let's go to the load screen. Go to the load screen. Go to the other screen. I need to close this down. No, yeah, the other screen. Okay, we're on this screen.
Hey,
Hi.
we have a crash.
Yep.
Help. It was nice to have that infinite spin sound in your ears, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was terrific. What a great time to have that happen.
So I'll keep you informed about the game. Currently, nobody's getting killed. We have a bit of a stalemate. Both teams are just waiting on their own sides of the river, waiting for cooldowns. Looks like Chaos Knight is going to try to farm up a potential Lincolns before this next fight. He's only 500 gold short. His buyback is available, but he doesn't have gold for it.
We're back in.
Toby is reconnecting back in very soon. Hey.
Hopefully all my settings just didn't get destroyed. All right, we're good. We're back in.
We're back in, and there we go. Okay.
Oh, yeah, so we got predictions invisible, but it's fine.
0 kills.
Great.
And
Woo!
we're back.
Oh,
And
well,
it's time to fight.
We'll put that one into the great cleanup. But yeah, we're back in again. Nice, Torrent, Juggernaut. He's got Omni Slash up and running. It looks like also all the names have now reverted to the... well, this just got a hell of a lot more interesting.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, indeed.
No more names.
No more names.
Not with the names. Now you can see what it's like for me. But hey, as long as you're hiding the names, then... Oh, you're showing them. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I can't hide them. We've got heroes only. CK. K1. Just staring down the Juggernaut. They want to go for more here. But it won't happen. A double damage rune. Yeah, we're going to start using hero names. that's the way we're going to play this. K1's at least able to grab the bounty runes from the bottom. I love how his name is Ricardo on Trinket.
Is it?
Yeah. Going for the goal!
Oh, it's showing Roger for me. For him. Interesting.
Ricard. Oh. He's got a Blink Dagger, so this will really enable Virtus Pro when it comes to the initiation.
Guess the win prediction.
Oh wait, yeah, we haven't done that in a while. I want to actually keep it 50-50. Is it 50-50? Oh yeah! It's a coin toss, boys and girls.
This
Virtus
game
Pro
is so close.
smoking up into the back lines. They're going to do the wraparound, but the line the VP drew was instantly drawn as well. Kunkka was ready for it. And they're going to smoke into each other. Silencer, front lines. He's going to get that global off. Able to do so once the BKB was already triggered, so the Doom cannot actually get the Doom off. In comes your ship. The BKB is worn down. Now the Chain Frost bounces off towards the side, bouncing with the neutrals, combining with the Omnislash. It's huge amount of damage. Tree's already gone down, but Kunkka's the bigger one. They're just standing their ground and killing him off. Down for 2 minutes without buyback available. Chaos Knight, how much damage have you got? He's got a lot more life. Molotov protecting, but here comes the Reaper's side. They bring him down. No buybacks available. CK and Kunkka are down in Virtus Pro. Is this now the time to push after killing off Whisper? Beastmaster will fall. Ramses will claim that kill too. So Pasha, Nolan, and Ramses, they turn towards the mid without the buybacks available. This feels so anticlimactic. Maybe with Tiny.
CK has 100 gold short. Tiny is trying to kill a range Drax to give him enough gold to buy back. He's going to do this until he dies.
Oh, just swing it. Swing it and ding it.
He's trying so hard.
Yes.
He
Got
shivered.
it. Just got him. Yeah, got him. All right, buyback. Here you go. CK's back into the game.
Oh, well, and he's keeping Pasha busy too, so there's only 2 VP heroes in the Radiant base. They can't end the game now.
Oh, he just tried to TP back. He goes Sinister Gaze into the fountain. Tiny, he's still trying to swing. He can buy back and fight.
Well, now they got to be a bit careful back in the base.
Yep. CK, he's got Reality Rift, he can hold him in. Here comes your curse, quickly taken off by the mana style of Ramses, but Ramses starts to walk away. CK protected by the BKB, 3 seconds done, and Doom, he's already there. BT'd himself forward. The CK's ticking out to the Infernal Blade. 3 euros down again, and this is the game. GG is called. Virtus Pro will get a 2-0 victory. Much needed for them to push themselves up through into the upper parts of the group of the bracket.
I think they're in the middle now.
They're in the middle, but they're out